Now on YouTube, it's time for some alternative commentary action with the Commentary Hub.
There's headed by Marina, and it's 2-1 to Arsenal.
Look at that point! Goal for Manchester City!
Takes this corner, whips it in, it's headed and it's a goal, and it's that man, Gabriel.
Liverpool have equalised. Lovely improvisational touch from Curtis Jones.
Oh, what a goal! Wow, take it out! A very good afternoon to you then, and welcome along to Super Sunday on the Commentary Premier League Live as Manchester United take on Arsenal at Old Trafford in the Premier League today. We've already seen two results from the afternoon in the Premier League today, with Chelsea beating Leicester by 1-0 and a 2-2 draw between Tottenham and Bournemouth at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in the 2 p.m. kickoffs in the Premier League today. First of all, it's a very good afternoon to my good friend Danny. Hopefully you're doing okay today, my friend, as we bring you this alternative commentary on Manchester United against Arsenal today. And I'm about to hand you over now, Danny, so you can hear what the lineups, the team changes are with your match commentator. It's Paul James.
Yes, thank you. Good afternoon and welcome. A huge game, really, what would normally be at the top end of the table. There's never been so much difference between the two sides over the last few decades. For Manchester United, so riddled with injuries, they've had to make 4 changes today. Victor Lindelof makes his first start in a year. He steps in for Harry Maguire, who is injured. Nusa Mazraoui steps in for Patrick Dorgu, who is still suspended from his horror challenge against Ipswich. Casemiro steps in, and a late change puts Rasmus Højlund on the bench. For Arsenal, a small squad themselves, not quite with the injury crisis that Manchester United have, looking to close the gap a little bit on Liverpool in the title challenge. There's only one change for the Gunners. Thomas Partey steps in for Jorginho, which is a tactical switch as Jorginho drops to the bench. Arsenal coming off that 7-1 victory over PSV Eindhoven during the week. Back to you, Ross.
Thank you very much there, Paul. And Paul, you just mentioned there Arsenal coming back into this fixture off the back of a 7-1 win against PSG in midweek in the Champions League. How much confidence do you think that will give the Gunners coming into a game of this magnitude, shall we say? Because it's normally a big game between these two sides.
Yeah, it's steeped in history, isn't there? A lot of aggression, a lot of hatred between the two sides. I think for Arsenal, they've been a bit of an enigma of this season of Arsenal. They've obviously needed a striker for a long time now, not just this season, probably since the season before that. But yet they have occasionally turned up and just run riot against teams. 5-1 against Manchester City, 7-1 against PSV Eindhoven, indicating that is a striker really necessary? Well, the answer to the question is yes. But I do think that they will be really on top of their confidence today going into this match against a very understrength Old Trafford. And an early goal for Arsenal could turn Old Trafford toxic, given the protests going on outside the stadium this afternoon.
Yes, absolutely, Paul, absolutely. You mentioned their protests against the owners from Manchester United outside the stadium. Jim Radcliffe and Ineos getting the brunt of those. Also, some of the Glazers getting some of it as well. When you look at it all, everything's happening outside of Old Trafford, Paul, you've got to say this Manchester United side must be thinking we must get the first goal here to keep the crowd on our side, because, like you mentioned, an early goal for Arsenal and this Old Trafford crowd this afternoon could turn toxic.
Yes, absolutely. I don't think there's any doubt about it that it's very, very important for Manchester United to get the first goal, and if possible, to get an early goal, get themselves up with an early start. Might just change some of the mentality of the Manchester United fans' energy. Right now, it's negative. They're going to hope to turn that to positive if they can get an early goal.
Yes, absolutely, Paul. Absolutely. And if I were to put you on the spot as we go as the teams are getting to come in to the tunnel very, very shortly, if I were to put you on the spot to give you your score prediction, I would sometimes come to you for a score prediction in these sort of games or in any games that you bring us on the channel. What would you say the score prediction is going to be in your opinion today?
Well, I think the smart money would, of course, be on Arsenal, but when both sides can lift themselves for this game, and we've seen Manchester United do it before, it'd be 5 straight wins for Arsenal in the league if they can win today. But I think it's going to be very tight. I don't think it's going to be one side dominating the other. Uh, I'm going to say a 1-1 draw.
The listeners out there, and I'm thinking, and I'm hoping this as well. I think Arsenal will probably have too much for Manchester United today, Paul, in my personal opinion, with the starting lineups and with the options on the bench as well, which you can see the lineups on the screen there, guys, in front of you. I think Arsenal could potentially need this one, Paul. I'm going to say 2-1 to the Gunners today. And I think if I were to ask you, Paul, who do you think will get the opening goal of the game for the Gunners today? Because for me, I think Ethan Wanera could get potentially be on the score sheet, and maybe even I'm going to throw in a surprise one here. Urian Timber getting the other goal for the Gunners. With potentially this one could surprise a lot of people as well, with Diego Dallo popping up with Manchester United scoring, in my opinion. Who do you reckon is going to get the first goal for the Gunners today?
Well, it could be Mikel Moreno. He was played well during the week, but given the 7-1 victory, it could be any one of them. Martin Odegaard, perhaps.
Yes, and friend of the channel, Danny Rumsey, has said this afternoon he reckons it's going to be 4-0 to the Gunners this afternoon. And just before we hand over to Paul Ford, we build up for the kick-off of the teams getting to come out of the tunnel very, very, very shortly. Midway Radio Jingles and Gaming, our good friend is in the chat. He says, "Good afternoon, Russ, Paul, and everyone. Well, this is a huge game. Let's see if we can get a win after an impressive 7-1 performance on Tuesday against PSV in the Champions League. Come on, you Gunners," says Media Radio, Jingles and Gaming. So without further ado, with the teams going to come out of the tunnel onto the field of play ahead of the kick-off in this Premier League encounter, it's time for me to hand over to match commentator, Paul James.
Thank you very much, Ross, and good afternoon, everybody, from Old Trafford, known as the Theatre of Dreams. Well, this season it's become very much the Theatre of Nightmares, as Manchester United struggling at the wrong end of the table. Debt-laden, perhaps unable to pay dividends this year with all the financial trouble, unable to purchase any new players. Manchester United really are in hot water at the moment. Well, the two teams have met each other 242 times. Manchester United have won 42% of those games, 102 wins, 50 draws and 90 losses. Most recently, if Arsenal can win today, it'll be 5 straight league wins. So let's take a look at the starting lineups. First job of the day, and Andre Onana is in goal, with Lenny Yoro, Matthias de Ligt and Victor Lindelof and the back three. The wing back on the left-hand side is Diogo Dalot, with Casemiro, Christian Eriksen and Nusa Mazraoui on the wing back on the right. Bruno Fernandes and Alejandro Garnacho just operating behind the forward player Joshua Zirkzee. For Arsenal, well, it's very much the same lineup that we're used to seeing right now. Second place Arsenal really looking to close the gap on Liverpool, although it's looking a larger and larger task each week. They start with David Raya in goal. The back four is Ricardo Calafiori, Gabriel, William Saliba and Urian Timber. Declan Rice, Thomas Partey and the captain Martin Odegaard, the three in midfield. And leading the line is Leandro Trossard, Mikel Moreno and Ethan Nwaneri. The substitutes for Manchester United, goodness me, an average age of only 19, and only one of these players has actually made a Premier League start. Two backup goalkeepers, Dermot Mee and Eli Harrison. Aidan Heaven, Harry Hamas, Toby Collier, Jack Morehouse, Jack Fletcher, Rasmus Højlund and Chido Obi. For Arsenal, the backup goalkeeper is Nato, Kieran Tierney, Ben White, Jakub Kivior, Alexander Zinchenko, Jorginho, Miles Lewis-Skelly, Gabriel Martinelli and Raheem Sterling. Congratulations to Ethan and Wanry today, who becomes the 6th youngest player to start 20 Premier League games this season. Victor Lindelof, of course, making his first start for a year as well. As Manchester United in their red jerseys, white shorts, black socks, as Alejandro Garnacho is just doing his final preparations. Arsenal in their change strip today. And our officials today is Anthony Taylor from Wythenshawe in Greater Manchester. Gary Beswick and Adam Nunn are on the line. Darren Bond is the 4th official. And Paul Tierney and Tim Wood are in VAR. Just to mention, Arsenal are choosing to wear their purple sky blue shirt today with blue shorts and sky blue socks. Say change ends, and we're about ready to get the game underway here at Old Trafford. Well, packed house as usual. Ruben Amorim and Mikel Arteta just shaking hands. Has to be said that Mikel Arteta has come under some pressure this season, despite the league position, with some murmurings coming out of the Emirates Stadium with regards to his position as Arsenal manager. And the players now just doing their final preparations ahead of this game today at Old Trafford. Manchester United, Arsenal rather, won the game at the Emirates Stadium. They did lose in the FA Cup on a penalty shootout. This is, if you like, out of the best of 3, this is the decider. Media, radio, jingles and gaming says performances this afternoon like they did against PSV. Interesting. That might be, see how that goes. Arsenal will get the game underway, attacking the goal to our right. Manchester United surprisingly attacking the Stretford end in this first half. It's cleared downfield by David Raya. Up go the heads there by Declan Rice. It's won by Nusa Mazraoui and cleared away by Matthias de Ligt. Up in the air. Challenging Joshua Zirkzee there is Gabriel. And Joshua Zirkzee is alleged to have fouled him. So it's going to be a free kick to Arsenal. About 10 yards inside the Manchester United half of the field. It's dropped back to Gabriel again. Trafford, it's just about the only thing that can be said that's positive about Manchester United this season. The complaints at mice infestation in Old Trafford, complaints of leaking roofs, many problems going on right now at this famous old club. Here is Martin Odegaard. Odegaard drops the ball back to Declan Rice. Picked up again here by Odegaard. That's a good ball out there to Jurrien Timber. Timber drops the ball to Nwanri. Nwanri right in front of Diogo Dalot. Drops the ball back to Odegaard again. Does a quick 1-2 with Timber. Odegaard now down the right-hand side. Skips inside. Drops the ball to Thomas Partey. Partey holds the ball up. Lifts the ball over the top and it's headed down by Nwanri looking for Odegaard, and it's headed behind by Victor Lindelof for a corner to Arsenal on the right hand side. And under 2 minutes gone, and Arsenal have the first, well, it's not going to be a corner, actually it's like a throw in right by the touchline. Jurrien Timber now is going to take this throw in right by the corner flag. It's taken quickly, a back heel there by Nwanri to Timber. Oh, really good challenge there. Just blocking Timber on his way by Diogo Dalot. He clears the ball away. The header is won by Saliba, but it falls to Christian Eriksen. Zirkzee drops the ball back to Eriksen, but it's intercepted and won back by Odegaard. And Arsenal already camping out into the Manchester United half of the field. Here's Jurrien Timber. Gives the ball to Nwanri down the right-hand side, trying to get away from Diogo Dalot. Just by the touchline there. Drops the ball back to Timber. Timber, that's a good ball to Partey and to Odegaard. One-touch football by Arsenal. Here is Moreno. Moreno lifts the ball over the top looking for Declan Rice, but it's just away from the England international and goes through to Andre Onana. Rasmus Højlund on the bench there. 19 appearances, no goals. He's had chances, but he's not been able to put them away. And it's been a bit of a nightmare season for Rasmus Højlund. Here's Diogo Dalot. Dalot, he plays a dangerous ball across his own penalty area. It's bouncing around Moreno. Oh, the goalkeeper, Andre Onana, just gets out there and gets it to the foot of that ball, right by the feet of Moreno. And that was a very poor ball by Diogo Dalot that presented that option for Arsenal in the first place. There's Dalot again. Let's see what he can do with it now. Dalot gives the ball to Eriksen. Eriksen, short pass there to Casemiro, back to Eriksen. Eriksen plays the ball forward there to Xerxes, who drops it back to Casemiro. Casemiro, long ball over on the far side, bringing that down well is Mazraoui. He's got Calafiori in front of him. He steps back, does Mazraoui, and drops the ball back. And he drops the ball back to Victor Lindelof, making his first start for a year. This is how depleted this squad is right now. Here's Dalot. Checks back, gets a cross in. It's cleared away by Saliba. All the way into the Manchester United half of the field. Chasing this one back is Lenny Yoro. And Yoro will just put his foot on the ball and play the ball across there to Victor Lindelof. And goes back to Yoro and back to the goalkeeper. Here's Matthijs de Ligt for Manchester United. Just puts his foot on the ball now. He's no real rush from Manchester United. No real urgency being shown as of yet. Here's Dalot. Plays the ball over the halfway line, but it's a poor one to Eriksen. And it goes out of play. And it's going to be a throw-in for Arsenal on the halfway line down the right-hand side. And it's going to be Jurrien Timber that's going to take the throw-in for Arsenal. And it's a throw-in by Timber, but Orni really manages to find Garnacho. Garnacho goes down under the challenge, and it's going to be a free kick. The throw-in there to Thomas Partey, it was a little bit away from him, and it was a 50-50 there with Garnacho, and Garnacho seems to have come out the worse for it. 6 minutes gone here. Manchester United 0, Arsenal 0. It's a free kick for Manchester United. About 10 yards inside the Arsenal half of the field. And it's going to be Christian Eriksen that is going to take this. Just the high line by Arsenal. It's swung in, and it's just going to beat everybody. Go over the heads and go behind for a goal kick. Well, Chelsea won earlier on today with a 1-0 victory over Leicester. A lot of huffing and puffing to get the job done there. Spurs managing to come back from 2 down to get a draw against Bournemouth today as well. So for Manchester United, the rest of the pack seem to be gaining points. They cannot afford to lose games at this time. And there's nipping in Jurrien Timber ahead of Xerxes. Wins that ball. Here's Thomas Partey. Thomas Partey just drops the ball back to the edge of his own penalty area. And it goes back to the goalkeeper, David Raya. Raya releases the ball to Saliba. Saliba back to Odegaard, and he goes back to David Raya, and Arsenal building up from the back. It's a good ball by Raya out to Mikel Merino. He's over the halfway line now. He's got Nwaneri and Timber up there with him. Also Trossard. And that's a good ball left by Calafiori. And now here's Trossard to Odegaard. Odegaard lifts the ball over the top, looking for Trossard, tries to bring the ball down. Oh, and here's a chance, but Onana comes out and collects that just ahead of the Belgian international there. And that final ball, nearly played well for Arsenal. It was lifted up, chested down, brilliant play, and the pass through. Trossard just a little bit slow on the end of that, but Onana was able to make it and get there just before Leandro Trossard. And we've got a throw-in now for Arsenal. It's taken quickly by Jurrien Timber, thrown back into their own half of the field. Picking up the ball here is Gabriel. Gabriel gives the ball back to Saliba. And here's Timber. Goes back to Saliba. Arsenal now will be looking for a way through the Manchester United defence, which has had a lot of problems this season. Manchester United, 3 games under 500, languishing in the lower half of the table. And you have to say, had it not been for the 3 teams that probably will go down this season, Manchester United might have been in a little more trouble. Here's Calafiori. Good ball there to Thomas Partey. Odegaard picks it up inside the centre circle. Just looking for options left and right, Odegaard. And it's now with Gabriel. Trossard just turning away here from Garnacho. Trossard trying to put some distance between him and Garnacho. He goes to Saliba. Here is Gabriel. Gabriel to Thomas Partey. Drop back there. And Arsenal at the moment, this is like a training session for them, just passing the ball around. At the moment, Manchester United cannot get the ball back. It's possession football by Arsenal in the Manchester United half of the field. Here's Odegaard. Quick 1-2 there with Declan Rice. Odegaard laid off again to Moreno, who shoots just wide. Oh, that's an opportunity for the Spaniard. And the shot was just pulled wide. It was good build-up play by Arsenal. Martin Odegaard there just doing a quick 1-2 with Declan Rice before the ball broke loose to Mikel Moreno on the edge of the box. And, you might say he should have hit the target there. But it's a goal kick for Manchester United, and early on the pressure is being put on the Manchester United defence. Right now, Lenny Yoro just receiving some treatment. Of course, from that Chelsea game today, Cole Palmer, normally ice cool from the penalty spot, missed his first penalty today. He's hit a run of barren form recently. We'll see whether it picks up for him in time. Certainly England will want it to, as Aidan Heather now warming up on the bench for Manchester United. Lenny Yoro is still down, as Manchester United now could do with no further injuries. It's not looking good for Lenny Yoro. Chido Obi signed from Arsenal in September. He was quite impressive when he came on in the Cup against Fulham, I have to say. Lenny Yoro's back on his feet now, but he's just going to have to go off for a moment. And the referee will allow him back on the field in due time. And the ball goes out of play. It's going to be another throw-in, as Lenny Yoro now being waved back onto the field by Mr. Anthony Taylor. It's a throw-in taken quickly, and it's now with Gabriel. Gabriel plays the ball short to Partey and out to Martin Odegaard. Odegaard got some space in front of him, drops it down to the right-hand side to Nwaneri. Nwaneri from the corner of the penalty area. Plays it short, but he only manages to give the ball away here. And now Manchester United can come on the break. And it's Alejandro Garnacho charging down the right-hand side. Garnacho now getting into the penalty area. Pulls the ball back to Mazraoui. He's unable to turn and shoot there. And the Arsenal players are claiming handball against Mazraoui. And that is exactly what the referee has given. And a free kick to Arsenal inside their own penalty area for the handball by Mazraoui. Here's William Saliba. Goes back to the goalkeeper, David Raya. Raya just puts his foot on the ball. Is he going to go long? Or is he going to go short? He decides to go long as Xerxes tries to press him, but he only manages to find a Manchester United player over there on the far side, which I think is Christian Eriksen. He drops the ball back, and it goes all the way back to the goalkeeper, Andre Onana. Clears the ball downfield. It's inside now the Arsenal half of the field. Joshua Xerxes goes down. The referee says nothing doing. And Declan Rice has the ball now for Arsenal. Declan Rice drops the ball to Jurrien Timber. Timber. Back to Declan Rice. Still 0-0 here. No early goals by either side as of yet. And that's Calafiori over there to Trossard. Trossard drops the ball back to Declan Rice. Good ball by Declan Rice to Martin Odegaard. Odegaard now, he's got some space in front of him. Overlapping is Timber and Nwanri. Here's Timber. Timber holds the ball back. He drops the ball to Odegaard. Gets into the penalty area. Odegaard tries to feed it through to Nwanri, but that's really good defending by Matthijs de Ligt, and he clears the ball downfield. And it's picked up inside the centre circle by Gabriel. He goes all the way back to David Raya. And here is Thomas Partey for Arsenal. And Odegaard gets into the centre circle. And across to Gabriel. Out to Ricardo Calafiori. Short ball there really to Odegaard, but he maintains possession. Here's Thomas Partey. Certainly Arsenal dominant in possession early on. Really only created the one effort so far. And here is the number 12, Jurrien Timber for Arsenal. Good ball by Declan Rice. Now it's out onto the right-hand side to Ethan Nwanri in front of Diogo Dalla. Nwanri drops it back to Odegaard. Quick 1-2 there with Thomas Partey. And that's a good turn by Nwanri, but he's dispossessed. That's good football. And now Manchester United breaking forward. It's Bruno Fernandes. That's a good ball to Garnacho on the far side. Garnacho with a shot. It rolls across the face of goal. No one there. Xerxes picks it up on the corner of the penalty area. Drops it back to Diogo Dallo on the left-hand side. Goes back to Lenny Yoro. And for the first time in this game, Manchester United see a sight of goal. Yoro to Diogo Dallo. Dallo plays the ball forward. Nice touch by Casemiro, but it's in the end it's intercepted, and Arsenal can come forward now with Odegaard. Odegaard to Nwanri. Oh, good challenge there by Bruno Fernandes on Nwanri. Puts the ball out of play. It's going to be a throw into Arsenal. And taken quickly there by Jurrien Timber. He drops the ball to Martin Odegaard. Manchester United's defence holding up firm against Arsenal at the moment. Here's Thomas Partey. Gabriel. Partey. Oh, tries to lift the ball over the top. Looking for Moreno. But Declan Rice tries to nip in there, but it's won back by Casemiro. Arsenal win the ball back with Nwanri. Here's Declan Rice again. Rice over onto the left-hand side to Calafiori. Calafiori tries to get the crossing, but that's a very good block by Moussa Nasraoui, and it goes behind for the second Arsenal corner of the game. With 16 minutes gone, it is Manchester United 0, Arsenal 0 at Old Trafford. And Arsenal preparing for one of their specialist corners. They've had a lot of luck with set-piece goals this season. They haven't scored one for a while, but they are going to try something a little different here. Corner is going to come in. They've got to watch Gabriel. He seems to be the danger man from these positions. Also, Jurrien Timber as well. The corner is going to be taken on the left-hand side by Declan Rice. Declan Rice is going to swing this one in. Oh, it's right under the crossbar. And punching the ball out there was Andre Onana. He might have been better trying to catch that. It's now out to Thomas Partey. And here's Timber, back to Partey. Can he get the cross in, Thomas Partey? He does, into that 6-yard box again. It's headed out by Xerxes as far as Calafiori. And now picked up by Odegaard. Odegaard swings the ball in. It's headed by Diogo Dalla outside the penalty area. Thomas Partey picks it up and he allows it to roll out of play for a throw into Arsenal. Well, it's almost level with the Manchester United 6-yard box. It's Thomas Partey again. The throw in, or is he going to hand it off to Jurrien Timber? Hands it off to Timber. And he's got options available. He's not in any particular hurry at the moment. And Timber just throws it down there to Declan Rice. Back to Timber. And it's now with Jurrien Timber again. And just trying to win that ball back there is the number 2, William Saliba. He just shields that ball out of play again, as it's another throw-in for Arsenal. We're now midway inside the Manchester United half of the field, as almost right in front of Ruben Amorim's bench. And Odegaard is dispossessed by Casemiro. And Manchester United can break now if they hurry. Here's Garnacho. That's a good ball across to Mazraoui. Mazraoui tries to swing the ball in looking for Xerxes, but it's blocked. And Declan Rice is going to put his foot through this and clear it away downfield. Victor Lindelof lets the ball bounce. That could be dangerous. Well, he had his arm around Mikel Morena's throat there. Nothing given by Anthony Taylor. He says play on. But definitely Lindelof had his arm around the throat of the Spanish international Mikel Morena there. Here is Lindelof again. Gives the ball to Matthijs de Ligt. Media, radio, jingles and games says we're only 20 minutes in and Manchester United are giving Arsenal a game this afternoon. Well, at the moment it is mostly Arsenal. Perhaps that was to be expected. The ball is back to the goalkeeper by Lenny Yoro, who releases the ball to Mazraoui. Goes back to Onana again. Onana clears the ball downfield. It was just brought down well by Xerxes, but the ball has been given away. And now it is the number 6, Gabriel. Just releases the ball to Declan Rice. Declan Rice now going down the left-hand side to Leandro Trossard. Trossard checks back. Thomas Partey. Partey just holds the ball up. Nothing on the left-hand side. Gives the ball to Odegaard. Odegaard with a shot, but it's a comfortable save down to his left-hand side for Andre Onana. As you can see here that Thomas Partey just laying the ball off. The Manchester United stood off Odegaard. Very dangerous thing to do from those sorts of areas. Martin Odegaard. We know he can strike them from in and around the edge of the area. Mazraoui. Lindelof. Back to Mazraoui. Here's de Ligt. Drops the ball back to the goalkeeper, Andre Onana. Here's Lenny Yoro to Diogo Dalot. Clears the ball, Dalot. And it's not the best clearance. And here is Thomas Partey again for Arsenal, running that engine room in midfield. Down to the right-hand side to Jurrien Timber. Here's Nwanri. Nwanri gets across to the back post, but it's over everybody's head and goes behind for a goal kick. And 20 minutes gone and no goals at Old Trafford so far, as Manchester United very much penned inside their own half of the field. But Arsenal, the final ball, they're not really creating too many chances. They've had a couple of efforts, only one on target, that being from Martin Odegaard. Mikel Morena, of course, with his shot just pulled wide. For all the possession that they've had, it's not a huge return for Arsenal. Onana, right-footed downfield from the goal kick. Coming up with the header there, though, is Jurrien Timber, and headed down by Casemiro. Flicked on by Eriksen, cleared away by William Saliba, and picked up by Timber. Timber just plays the ball there to Moreno. Moreno gives the ball to Declan Rice. Arsenal breaking forward in numbers now. Across on the far side is Leandro Trossard. Overlapping is Calafiori. Trossard skips into the middle of the park. And he's just holding the ball up there, lays it off to the number 2, William Saliba, back to Thomas Partey. Partey 1-2 with Leandro Trossard. Here's Jurrien Timber. Timber to Nwanri. Nwanri again, just holding that ball up, and he drops it back there to Timber. Here's William Saliba to Odegaard. That's a good ball to Odegaard. Odegaard now trying to get inside the penalty area. Moreno back heels it to Nwanri, who drops the ball to Timber. Now here's Saliba, all 10 men inside the Manchester United half of the field right now. Calafiori drops the ball to the number 5 there, Thomas Partey. It's back with Leandro Trossard. Trossard, just trying to turn de Ligt there. That was a good play by Trossard. Back heels it to Calafiori. Partey now coming forward for Arsenal. He's midway inside the Manchester United half of the field. That's a really good ball to the number 12, Jurrien Timber. And now here's Martin Odegaard. Odegaard, corner of the penalty area, right-hand side. Here's William Saliba, just getting away from 2 Manchester United players there. The ball is dropped back via a deflection to Saliba again. Here is Odegaard. Odegaard, quick 1-2 with Gabriel, and across to Calafiori. Lots of passing and possession by Arsenal. Here's Calafiore, good ball back to Odegaard. Odegaard tries to turn and play the ball through, but once again, that final ball is disappointing, and it goes straight through to Andre Onana. Well, Onana releases the ball, and he gives it to Lenny Yoro. Yoro to Christian Eriksen. Back to Yoro again, as Manchester United just trying to create something, trying to get on the offence, because at the moment they've been penned very much inside their own half of the field. That's a long ball by Matthijs de Ligt, looking for Diogo Dalot. A superb ball to Dalot. Dalot plays the ball there to Bruno Fernandes, back to Xerxes. Fernandes down the left-hand side here to Christian Eriksen. Eriksen swings across. Oh, it goes all the way across to to Alejandro Garnacho. Garnacho cuts inside the penalty area. Can he get the cross in? No, he pulls the ball back to Mazraoui. Mazraoui gets a crossing towards the back post, but it's over Xerxes' head, and it will go out of play for a throw-in to Arsenal, and that latest move by Manchester United breaks down there, just over everybody's head. It's going to be a throw-in for Arsenal, and Jurrien Timber is going to take it, and it's about 6 yards away from his own corner flag. Drops it to Declan Rice, who hooks the ball away, not very far, only as far as Casemiro. It's headed down, but Thomas Partey working hard there. Finally cleared away by Saliba, but nipping in and winning the ball here is Nusa Mazraoui, but did he do it illegally? And it's going to be a free kick to Arsenal. There's one Manchester United player down there, and also it looks like Moreno's down for Arsenal. Just trying to see who the Manchester United player is. I can't see who that is, to be honest. We'll get a better look at it here. It's not Mazraoui. Oh, it's Matthijs de Ligt. So Matthijs de Ligt clashed straight into Mikel Moreno, with both players down at the moment. Neither side can afford any more injuries, especially Arsenal in the forwards department. Manchester United can't afford any more injuries, period. Sir Jim Radcliffe, the Manchester United co-owner, is there today. And I do wonder what's going through his mind with the protests outside Old Trafford this afternoon. And it's a free kick, which Arsenal will take as Matthijs de Ligt tries to organise the defence. And is it going to be... Well, it's going to be left to William Saliba to take it. Saliba just plays a short ball over to Calafiore. Calafiore is going to be dispossessed. Oh, he does well, does Calafiore, and gets the ball to Declan Rice. Rice plays the ball forward to Mikel Moreno. It's pulled back to Rice. Back to Thomas Partey with a shot. It's blocked by Eriksen. Bounces up in the air, headed out by Casemiro. And the referee has determined, or the official down on this near side, I think, has given an offside. And Mikel Arteta, the second youngest manager to take charge of 200 Premier League games. Congratulations to him. He has certainly changed Arsenal to the position that they are in right now, but has he got it in him to take him to the next level? Well, that remains to be seen. The ball is cleared downfield, and Thomas Partey wins a header there, looking for Nwaneri, but the ball goes out of play off Victor Lindelof, and it's going to be a throw-in to the Gunners. Just going over to take that is the number 12, Jurrien Timber, as Ruben Amorim just keeping his eye on things there. I just wonder what's going through his mind right now with everything going on at Old Trafford. He seems to be responsible for all of the media appearances. And now it's Arsenal coming forward with Calafiore to Leandro Trossard. He's got Fernandes and Mazraoui in front of him. Trossard's going to try and get the cross in. It's a good block this time for Bruno Fernandes. And it's going to be another corner to Arsenal. Third of the game for the Gunners. With 28 minutes gone at Old Trafford, we are still locked at 0-0. No, very few chances for both sides, really. Half chances for Arsenal. But the corner is going to come in now. Let's see if Arsenal can do anything with this corner. It's coming from the left-hand side, and it's going to be Declan Rice, of course, as the Arsenal players swarm into the 6-yard box. Onana comes out and plucks that out of the air with ease. And he was going to release it quickly, but chose better of it. Finally, he does clear it, and it's a very poor clearance by Onana. And Arsenal have the ball back with Declan Rice now. And Declan Rice puts his foot on the ball, gives it to Thomas Partey. My goodness me, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8 Arsenal players inside the Manchester United half of the field since that goal kick in a matter of seconds. And Manchester United are being pressed back now by Arsenal. Here is Martin Odegaard. Odegaard plays it back to Gabriel, across to William Saliba. Saliba to Moreno. Moreno now just puts his foot on the ball and gives it to Partey. Arsenal looking to try to break open this Manchester United defence. Oh, great ball through to Nwaneri. Oh, he's just not able to control it. And the referee has called up. He's arguing there in Nwaneri, and I think that was probably... no, he's onside there in Nwaneri. What else could it be for? He might have hit the ball with his hand. Let's take a look here. Yes, he just catches it with his hand there, I think, and that's the reason Anthony Taylor has blown up and given the free kick. And it's taken by Andre Onana, who once again finds the ball out of play. Andre Onana's kicking not been the best today. He's come under some criticism by Manchester United fans. It's back with David Raya now. Raya releases the ball to Saliba. Saliba just skips away from Xerxes for a moment, gets it back to Raya. Raya clears the ball long, bringing it down well there is Nwaneri. Oh, good play by the 17-year-old. Now he plays the ball out wide there to Ricardo Calafiori. Overlapping, it's Leandro Trossard. He tries to play the ball in the middle for Mikel Merino. But that ball just goes out of play. Excuse me. But Ricardo Calafiori had the right idea there. But the ball went in and it was just out of play. Oh, excuse me. Now then, here's Morena, plays the ball forward, looking for Timber, and it's knocked out of play by Diogo Dalla. As Arsenal continue turning the screw in this first half. Here's Morena. Picked up in the midfield by Thomas Partey. 3 shots by Arsenal, only 1 shot on target. And of course that was Martin Odegaard's. Nothing from Manchester United really. Here's Odegaard, plays the ball forward to Declan Rice, and here is Ricardo Calafiori again. Drops the ball back to Trossard. Trossard just plays it behind Declan Rice, but he manages to maintain possession. Oh, good ball through there to Trossard! And that ball just curls away for a goal kick. But that was the best Arsenal move of the first half. The shot just curled away from Onana's goal. Beautiful touch by Trossard, be it by accident or design. Completely deceived Victor Lindelof. And the shot was just curled wide for a goal kick. Cleared downfield by Andre Onana. And Arsenal trying to win the ball back again, but finally Casemiro puts his foot on the ball and drops it back to Matthijs de Ligt. And cleared downfield by Andre Onana. Headed on by Diogo Dalla. Picked up by Gabriel. Excuse me. Thomas Partey just drops the ball to Martin Odegaard, and Odegaard now picks up the ball, drops it now to Declan Rice, who gives the ball to Ethan Nwaneri. Nwaneri, corner of the penalty area. Odegaard. Odegaard back to Gabriel. Gabriel lifts the ball forward, looking for Calafiori. Here's Garnacho. Garnacho drops the ball back. Just getting away there from Calafiori was Garnacho. He cleared the ball well. Manchester United maintain possession. It's now with Lenny Yoro. Diogo Dalla just drops it back into his own half of the field. Gives the ball to Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes gets the ball back off Eriksen. Oh, it's a poor ball by Fernandes. And he only gives the ball right back to William Saliba. And now Arsenal are on the break. And it's Calafiori drops the ball there to Trossard. Trossard, he's got Odegaard up there with him. Good ball to Odegaard. Odegaard gives it to Timber. Back to Odegaard again. Odegaard lifts the ball over the top there. Oh, and unable to get on the end of it was Trossard, but he was through there. Had he got on the end of that, it might have been enough to have given Arsenal the lead, but really it was just a stretch away from him. And now Manchester United coming forward over the halfway line. Here is Bruno Fernandes. Long ball over to Diogo Dalla. Good ball there to his countryman. Diogo Dallo picks up the ball, drops it back to Eriksen. Gets the ball back, does Dallo. And it's now with the Lenny Yoro. Lenny Yoro back to Eriksen. Back to Yoro. Yoro drops the ball back to Eriksen. Good ball to Lindelof as Manchester United rather, looking to create some space. I think this is the longest they've had possession for in the entire game, but they've just surrendered it now. Commentators curse, and here is Nwanri. Good ball to Trossard. 4-on-4 if Arsenal can hurry. Here is Odegaard. Odegaard with a shot, but it's... Declan Rice back to Odegaard. Odegaard back to the number 12 there, Jurrien Timmer. Launched into the box there by Declan Rice. It's just headed out by Lindelof, only as far as Delors. He's trying to protect it going for a corner. He's now going to defend that ball as it rolls out of play for a throw into Manchester United, right by the corner flag, which Diogo Dallo will take. Dallo is going to just take his time with this one, I think. Long ball forward and flicked on by Bruno Fernandes. Xerxes fails to keep possession and Arsenal win the ball back, which once again Manchester United turn the ball over. And here is William Saliba for Arsenal in a very advanced position. Drops the ball back to Gabriel, gives the ball to Thomas Partey. Thomas Partey to Ethan Nwanri. Nwanri trying to get to the byline, whips the cross in, but that's a good header out by Victor Lindelof and cleared away by Eriksen. And here's Declan Rice. Forward looking for Martin Odegaard, but it was cleared away. And finally it goes back to the goalkeeper. And picked up now in the midfield by Declan Rice. Declan Rice just holds up the ball, gives it to Thomas Partey. To Odegaard. Odegaard gives the ball back to Moreno. Moreno to Nwanri. Good ball by Nwanri. Gets it right back there off Moreno. Nwanri under pressure. Nobody there helping him, and it was cleared away by Manchester United. But Arsenal once again seem to keep possession of the ball, as the ball just seems to be almost magnified to the feet of the Arsenal players at the moment. Here is Odegaard. We've got 7 minutes to go till half time. And it's Thomas Partey. It's, picked up here by Gabriel. And he gives the ball to Saliba. Saliba back to Partey. Good ball over to Ricardo Calafiori. Back to Odegaard. To Partey. Drops the ball back there. That's good play. And the ball is played forward there. Quick touch there by Odegaard to Timber. Excuse me. Back to Odegaard. And Thomas Partey again. Plays the ball forward there. Well played there to Ethan Nwaneri. And now back to Odegaard again. Odegaard plays the ball in. Oh, beautiful touch on by Declan Rice. It comes back to Rice now. Oh, and he tries to play the ball through to Trossard. But once again, Arsenal really trying to walk the ball into the net. It's not working right now for Arsenal. And the chances that they are creating are very minimal. Excuse me. Are very minimal given the amount of possession that they've had in this first half. Might be interesting just to take a look at the possession stats in this first half and just see where we are with this, because right now it's very, very lopsided. Ball possession 69% in favour of Arsenal. Excuse me, I'm so sorry, I seem to have a rather nasty cough today. Here's Declan Rice. And Calafiori now, midway inside his own half of the field. Plays the ball forward to Jurrien Timber. Timber holds the ball up well, just over the halfway line. And it's good play by Thomas Partey. Across to Calafiori. And here is Leandro Trossard on the ball. And it's picked up by Gabriel. Back to Trossard. Midway inside the Manchester United half of the field as we approach half-time here at Old Trafford. Both sides no further ahead in terms of goals, and an offside there. Ethan Nwaneri standing in an offside position, and we're going to have a free kick. And going to take the free kick now. Manchester United looking to try to create something. They've had very little in the first half. It's now with Diogo Dalla. Lenny Yoro just pokes the ball forward, and here's Bruno Fernandes. That's a good challenge there, though, by Jurrien Timber. Odegaard flicks the ball on to Declan Rice. And now here comes Mikel Merino, and Arsenal are on the break. It's Mikel Merino still maintains possession, plays the ball forward, but it was a deflection there by Casemiro off his head, and it just rolls through to Andre Onana. And Manchester United at the moment not defending very steady line against Arsenal. Arsenal trying to right now create the perfect play, and I think they should be a little bit more direct at this point. Here's Lindelof. Yoro. And back to the goalkeeper, Andre Onana. It's with Matthijs de Ligt now. De Ligt clears the ball downfield. It's headed down by Odegaard. And he maintains possession and gives the ball to Thomas Partey. Out to the right-hand side to Jurrien Timber. Thomas Partey again with Odegaard. Odegaard just skips away there from Christian Eriksen. Eriksen holds the ball up. It's a good ball by Eriksen to Declan Rice. Calafiori out onto the right-hand side. It's swung in. Finally a touch by Lindelof. Just hooks the ball away. And there's a free kick there for a foul by Thomas Partey on Joshua Zirkzee. We approaching the last few minutes of the half. We will be going back to Ross at half-time. We'll probably go through the score from today. And then we'll take a short break and be back for the second half. It looks like Thomas Partey there just catches Zirkzee with the elbow there. That looked like quite a nasty collision, and Zirkzee is still down, and this is the very last thing Manchester United need, another player out injured with a concussion a concussion break, but he took it full on with the elbow there. Stray elbow really by Thomas Partey. At the very least, it was very clumsy. Well, it's Christian Eriksen just watching over things. Ruben Amorim just trying to get some of his players together, so he might just have a little chat before he goes in for half-time. He won't want to concede late. He conceded late in the half against Fulham. And tends to change a manager's team talk when a late goal is scored at the end of the half. Well, earlier on today in the Championship, Portsmouth put a dent in Leeds United's Championship campaign with a 1-0 victory. As we take a look at Raheem Sterling. And we may just be given a few extra minutes at the end of this first half as a consequence, because this doesn't look good for Joshua Zirkzee. And I am just waiting to see whether Manchester United are going to bring on a substitute. He's been helped to his feet now. But I have to say, I am no doctor, but he looks pretty unsteady on his feet there. He's going off the field now. They're taking him off, and they'll have to wait for Anthony Taylor to be allow him back on the field, but he just looks a bit unsteady on his feet right now. And I wonder whether they will continue to risk him. I don't know. We'll see. They do have Rasmus Højlund on the bench, but I don't think they would have wanted to bring him on at this stage with the game against Real Sociedad in the week. It looks like he's going to come back on at the referee's notice, so as the game is back underway. Here's Thomas Partey. Partey clears the ball downfield into the Manchester United half of the field. It's tidied up by Matthijs de Ligt, who gets the ball back to the goalkeeper. We have 4 minutes of stoppage time at the end of this first half, mostly for the two injured Manchester United players. So they're coming forward now. United, it's Alejandro Garnacho, and it's a free kick for a foul by Leandro Trossard, and a yellow card for Trossard. And well, I don't think he can have any complaints. It was a very late challenge, a forwards challenge, if you will. But Garnacho just trying to make a nuisance of himself there. And Leandro Trossard is the first player in the referee's notebook in this game. And it's Leandro Trossard on 40, just in injury time at the end of this first half. And he'll have to be careful, because Arsenal have had, I don't think there's any other team in the Premier League that have more sendings off than Arsenal this season. But the free kick is about 10 yards outside the Arsenal penalty area, and just to the right side of the D. And Bruno Fernandes is standing over this. We all know how dangerous he can be from these situations. Bruno Fernandes, and despite all the possession at the end of this first half, in this first half for Arsenal, they certainly don't want to concede here. Bruno Fernandes standing over the ball, and Anthony Taylor just waiting for the free kick to be taken. Blows his whistle, and Fernandes steps up. Oh, and they do concede! Manchester United score from the free kick, and it's a beautiful strike by Bruno Fernandes, and Manchester United have the 1-goal lead. Well, this is just what they would have wanted at this point, given the fact that they are, with all the protests going on outside the stadium. I think it was important for Manchester United to give their fans something to cheer about. Well, goodness knows there hasn't been much to cheer about in this first half, but this one piece of magic by Bruno Fernandes, just curling it away from David Raya into his left-hand side. The dive wasn't good enough. It really was a beautiful free kick, it has to be said. David Raya nowhere near it. And Manchester United could be going into half-time with a vital lead here. Bruno Fernandes. We've seen these free kicks from him before. We know what he's capable of, and he strikes a beauty there. And for Manchester United, if they pick up the win here, this will be a huge result for them as the Arsenal get the game back underway. Media, radio, jingles and gamers as well. I did see that coming. Manchester United played well in the first half. Arsenal just need to focus and improve. And it's a throw-in for Arsenal now, which Calafiori will take over on the far side. And here's Thomas Partey, drops the ball back to Calafiori. And back there to David Raya, who clears the ball downfield, headed on by Matthias de Ligt, as Arsenal, despite all the possession, have created so little, and they need to get back in this game now, as they have been caught cold by a superb free kick by Bruno Fernandes. And here is Jurrien Timber. He gives the ball to William Saliba. Saliba over to Gabriel. Holds the ball up. Saliba again, down on this right-hand side to Ethan Nwaneri. Nwaneri tries to get to the byline. Good block by Diogo Dalot. And it's going to be a corner for Arsenal, this time down the right-hand side. As Arsenal looking to get themselves back into this game. And a corner on the right-hand side, usually taken by Martin Odegaard. Looks like he's going over there to take it now. Looking to swing this one in as we've played the 4 minutes of stoppage time. Swung in by Odegaard, the heads go up. Oh, it's headed away by Lindelof, but only across the penalty area. And Mesraoui having to clear that up. And here's Bruno Fernandes now for Manchester United. Long ball forward, give to Garnacho. And it's away from him and goes out of play. And that is the half-time whistle. And Manchester United go into half-time with a 1-goal lead. They produced nothing from the game, really, had nothing in terms of possession, but that one piece of magic by Bruno Fernandes is the difference between the two sides at half-time. At Old Trafford, it's Manchester United 1, Arsenal 0. Back to you, Ross.
Thank you very much there, Paul. And Paul, you mentioned it there towards the end of that first half commentary. Arsenal needed to take their chances. Have not done that yet. And when you don't take your chances, you get punished. And that's exactly what Manchester United have done in that first half with that fantastic free kick from Bruno Fernandes right at the end of that first half. Arsenal's missed chances have gone back to buy them on the backside so far, haven't they, Paul?
Well, I would say they haven't created anything really. They've had the chances that they've had are two half chances, but for all the possession that they've created, the final ball hasn't been there again for Arsenal. And I just keep seeing this week in, week out, with the exception of Wednesday night, with the exception of the win over PSV on Tuesday night. Where are these chances? What they did on Tuesday night, why are they now not doing on Sunday afternoon? It's absolutely abysmal, really, in that first half. The final ball by Arsenal and the opportunities they've had to create chances just haven't been there. And they've been punished with a soccer punch at the end of the first half.
Yes, absolutely, Paul. Absolutely. Back with Paul in plenty of time for the start of the second half. Make sure you stay tuned for second half commentary on the way very, very shortly for you this afternoon in the Premier League. Well, then, let's take a look at some of the other scores which are taking place this afternoon then, or have taken place this afternoon in the Premier League and other matches up and down the country today. Thus far, in the Premier League, Chelsea 1, Leicester City 0. A spirited display by the Foxes, so I've been told, but now a defeat once again for the Foxes, and Ruud van Nistelrooy. His time at Leicester City not going the way he would have wanted. Tottenham 2, Bournemouth 2, a late penalty from Son Heung-min earned a point for Tottenham after they went 2-0 down to Marcus Tavernier and Evan Nielsen. Pape Sarr and Son on target for Ange Postecoglou's men. Let me get my teeth back in to say that name again. Marco Correa was the goal match winner for Chelsea, by the way, in their game against Leicester City. As we know, half-time in the Premier League, as you can see on our screens, Manchester United 1, Arsenal 0. Bruno Fernandes in first half stoppage time. In the Scottish Cup quarter-finals, Celtic 2, Hibernian 0. Maeda and Ida with the goals for Brendan Rodgers' side. In the Championship, Portsmouth 1, Leeds United 0. Kobe Bishop with the only goal of the game on 61 minutes. Leeds United were denied a penalty in the first half when Daniel James was fouled by Matt Ritchie. It looked as though referee and Premier League referee, Rob Jones, went to put the whistle to his lips and then changed his mind right at the last minute and gave just Leeds a corner in the end. And a sucker punch with the ball over the top and Colby Bishop finishing delicately over Elan Melier in the Leeds United goal to dent Leeds United's promotion charge. In the Women's FA Cup quarter-finals, Manchester City 2, Aston Villa 0, Arsenal 0, Liverpool 1, Chelsea 1, Crystal Palace 0. There has been the draw for the next round with that in that competition. I'll let you know regarding that very, very shortly. In the English Women's Championship today, Charlton Athletic 3, Blackburn Rovers 1. Goals from Pears, Hutton and Barton for the Addicts, with Toland getting one back for Blackburn Rovers. Spanish La Liga today then, and Atletico Madrid, who lost last midweek against Real Madrid in the Champions League by 2-1, fell to another 2-1 defeat against Getafe earlier on this afternoon. They were away at Getafe, and goals coming from Amabaya on 88 and 90 plus 2 turned around the game, with Soloff scoring from the penalty spot for Atletico on 75 minutes. Correa sent off in the 88th minute. Real Madrid won yet another game by 2-1, Kylian Mbappe and Vinicius Junior on target for Los Blancos, with Pedro Diaz on target for Rayo Vallecano in that game. Athletic Club against Mallorca, Betis against Las Palmas, and also Santa Sevilla all this evening's kickoffs. In La Liga, in the German Bundesliga, Frankfurt 1, Union Berlin 2, Richie Batshuayi, remember him, the former Chelsea man, he's on target for Frankfurt in the 30th minute before Querfeld on 62 and Wu Yong in the 70th minute turned the game around for Union Berlin. In the 4 kickoff in the German Bundesliga, Offenheim 1, Heidenheim 0. Tabakovic, should I say, on 34 minutes, the difference there. In the Italian Serie A, Hellas Verona 1, Bologna 2. J. Odegaard on 40 minutes and Camagane on 78 put Bologna 2-0 up, who had Valentini sent off in the 70th minute, but Mosquera pulled one back in the 80th minute, and that's how it stayed in Italy. Also in Italy earlier on today, Napoli 2, Fiorentina 1, Romelu Lukaku and Raspadori on target for the Naples-based side. Fiorentina pulled a goal back through Gudmundsson in the 16th minute. 30 minutes on the clock in this game, though, between Empoli and Roma. Empoli 0, Roma 1. Sula with the goal on after just a minute. Juventus second, Atalanta at 7:45 this evening. There were some MLS matches as well, since the MLS is back up and running, and just take some results from the US Major League Soccer, or MLS, as it's abbreviated to. Here, let me just take some of the scores so far. Columbus Crew 0, Houston Dynamo 0, Seattle Sounders 5, LAFC 2, Atlanta United 0, New York Red Bulls 0, FC Cincinnati 2, Toronto FC 0, DC United 2, Sporting Kansas City 1, New England Revolution 0, Philadelphia Union 2, New York City 2, Orlando City 1, Austin 0, Colorado Rapids 1, FC Dallas 1, Chicago Fire 3, Nashville 2, Portland Timbers 0, Real Salt Lake 1, San Diego 3. Vancouver Whitecaps 2, CF Montreal 0. San Jose Earthquakes 0, Minnesota United 1. Inter Miami take on Charlotte at 8 o'clock this evening UK time, and LA Galaxy take on St. Louis City at 11 o'clock this evening as well. And those are your final two games in the MLS. If you can get to watch those, make sure you do some great football on show out in the MLS as well with you for your Sunday evening pleasure to watch there as well. Got some more action coming up a little bit later on. Second half coverage on the way very, very shortly in that game. In this game today, we've also got some games currently taking place in France as well. Brest beat Angers by 2 goals earlier. Le Havre won. Saint-Etienne won on 53 minutes with 7 minutes on the clock. Lens 0, Strasbourg 0. Reims 0, Auxerre 2 on 60 minutes. Nice against Olympique Lyonnais kick off at 7:45 this evening in the French Ligue 1. In the Dutch Eredivisie, just a result to tell you about it. Ajax beat Pek Zwolle by a goal to 0 this afternoon. FC Twente are currently leading Almere by a goal to 0 as well. There's some other scores from up and around the country and the world there for you today. In the Australian A-League, Newcastle Jets beat Auckland by, well, didn't beat them, they drew 1-1 against Auckland. Adams on 12 minutes, Randall on 37, equalised for Auckland, with Mastara getting sent off in the 75th minute at the McDonald Jones Stadium. Attendance in that game, 6,130 was the attendance for that Australian A-League men's match this afternoon. And after with that score, Auckland are top of the table on 41 points. Newcastle Jets are in 9th on 22 points in the table in the Australian A-League this afternoon or this morning, depending where you are. Or even yesterday, depending where you are listening from this afternoon. Then today, before we finish today, we'll bring you the results from the classified check from the Premier League across the weekend thus far. This afternoon, Media Radio Jingles has been in touch again. He says Arsenal need to get back into this game if they want to win it. Absolutely, this is not a great half-time result for the Gunners. Arsenal have done nothing in the first half apart from possession. Arsenal really need to change this up in the second half. They also go on to say, I don't know, Paul, I wish I didn't know why performance has changed completely from Tuesday. Unless Arsenal really can pull something off. I think Manchester United will score another goal in the second half. Disappointing performance from Arsenal in that first half. They're also going to say, how did Arsenal beat PSV 7-1 just 5 days ago? They have a completely different performance this afternoon. We'll have to wait and see if that half-time, if any changes can happen in the second half in the Premier League. And we've got your man back who's been providing some excellent commentary this afternoon. Paul James is back alongside us. And Paul, we've just heard there from Media Radio Jingles and Gaming, and he says he doesn't know why the performance has completely changed from Tuesday. He reckons unless Arsenal can pull something out of the art, then Manchester United could get a second goal and would be disappointment in the second half. And so far, he says it's been a disappointing performance from Arsenal in that first half. Would you tend to agree with Media Radio Jingles in Gaming like sometimes you do with some of his points?
Yeah, it's not good enough. They have they've failed to create anything with all the possession that they've had. They must be running at about 68-69% possession. How much more do you need to create chances? And they have had 2 half chances, both from outside the penalty area. You've got to be looking at a side that is now scoring 7 goals against PSV Eindhoven. I know there's a difference between on paper between PSV Eindhoven and Manchester United, but the chances that you have, the possession that you have, rather, you have to create chances, and they're not doing that. They're trying to walk the ball into the net. And I've seen this from Arsenal far too many times. We saw it against Nottingham Forest. We saw it against West Ham. It's silly.
Yes, and where do Arsenal turn to, Paul, in this second half? Because they've got the likes of Martinelli, Sterling on the bench, potentially Jorginho as well can get forward and score. But where does he turn to next week or where does Mikel Arteta turn to next? Because the full man has got out there, Moreno, Trossard, Wanere, even the midfielders to a certain extent, Odegaard, Rice and Partey, just hasn't been good enough in that first half.
No, I don't think he needs to change the players. I think he needs to change the way that the thinking of the players. The thinking of the players is we can create the perfect play to score the perfect goal. No, put the ball towards goal and good things will happen. None of this little deep, knock the ball around and what is this? They're not Manchester City. They're playing out from the back like Manchester City, and they're building up this way. It's not working. They have to go out and be direct, and they have to play their own way. Looks like we got a substitution in the second half. Russ Aiden Heaven is maybe coming on the second half, from my understanding. I'm not sure who he's going to come on for. But regardless, this performance by Arsenal, it's not good enough. They're trying to create the perfect play. They need to start putting the ball on goal.
Absolutely, Paul. Absolutely, my friend. And you've got to say that in that first half, Man United did what you just said Arsenal need to do, and that's why they've got the goal and they are leading there. Just break off from this game for a moment, just to let people know the draw for the FA Women's Cup semi-finals have been made this afternoon, and the semi-final draw in full is Manchester City versus Manchester United, and Chelsea against Liverpool. Ties to take place on the 13th of April, Sunday the 13th of April, and we'll try and bring you at least one of those Women's FA Cup semi-finals if we can. It looks like the second team's back out for the second half, and with news of that first half, the half-time substitution is over to Paul for the second half.
Yes, so it's Lenny Yoro who makes way for Aiden Heaven, and interesting switch by Ruben Amorim, given that I actually felt that Lenny Yoro did a decent job in the first half. We're back underway, and here's Martin Odegaard, and Arsenal are on the search for an equaliser. It's Leandro Trossard. Trossard holds the ball up, and he swings the ball across there to Jurrien Timber, swings the ball into the box, and it's just headed away there. And Arsenal will build up again. And here's Thomas Partey. Partey gives the ball to Trossard. Trossard with a shot. It's blocked that time, though. And now, can Manchester United break away with Alejandro Garnacho? No. What a superb challenge that was by Gabriel on Alejandro Garnacho, just stopping him from breaking away at that point. We're just going to go through the lineups for you very quickly here. For Manchester United, Andre Onana in goal. It's no longer Lenny Yoro, it's Aiden Heaven, Matthias de Ligt, Victor Lindelof, Diogo Dalla, Casemiro, Christian Eriksen, Nusa Mazraoui, Bruno Fernandes, Alejandro Garnacho and Joshua Zirkzee. No changes for Arsenal. David Raya in goal, Ricardo Calafiori, Gabriel, William Saliba, Jurrien Timber, Declan Rice, Thomas Partey, Martin Odegaard, Leandro Trossard, Mikel Morena and Ethan Nwaneri. As it's picked up here by Declan Rice, just lays it off there for Trossard. Trossard is dispossessed so well by Nusa Mazraoui, and he gives the ball to Garnacho, who's storming away down the left-hand side. Plays the ball across, gets the ball back, does Garnacho, pulled into the middle, and that is good defending that time by Jurrien Timber, as Garnacho showing a lively spark there. And that was a brilliant quick 1-2 with Nusa Mazraoui. He pulls the ball across, and well, good work by Jurrien Timber staying awake, but Manchester United may well have doubled their lead. It's going to be a corner for Arsenal, I think. A corner for Manchester United, I should say. I think, or no, is it going to be a throw? It's going to be a throw-in. Nusa Mazraoui takes a throw-in and he gives it to Matthijs de Ligt. De Ligt holds the ball up. He lifts it over the top, looking for Mazraoui. Can Mazraoui get the cross in? He's under pressure from Trossard. Releases the ball to Xerxes. Back to Mazraoui again. Skips into the penalty area. Does very well there, and then runs into Casemiro. But Garnacho takes up the ball. Garnacho tries to swing the ball into the middle. It's a low cross. Nobody really gambling on it, and there wasn't much meat behind that cross. And Raya gets down and comfortably releases the ball here to Thomas Partey. Partey across there to the number 2, William Saliba. Saliba out wide here to Ethan Nwaneri. What can Arsenal do now? Nwaneri drops the ball back to Odegaard. Odegaard again, back to Thomas Partey. Partey just turns away. It's good hold-up play by Thomas Partey. Across to Odegaard. Odegaard just looking there, plays it short to Thomas Partey. Through ball to Odegaard. Odegaard goes down under the challenge from Casemiro. Referee says play on. Manchester United just trying to get the ball away right now. It's back on the edge of their penalty area. Lindelof hooks the ball away and he puts it out of play for a throw-in to Arsenal. It's taken quickly. Here's Declan Rice now. Rice just holds the ball up. He's midway inside the Manchester United half of the field. Gives the ball there to Jurrien Timber and across to Nwaneri. He's got Dalot in front of him once again. Dalot makes a fine challenge on Nwaneri and comes away with a ball, but he loses control of it, stumbles over it really in a way, and rolls the ball out of play, and it's another throw into Arsenal. And it's back with Nwaneri. And it's back with Thomas Partey. Partey across to Gabriel. Ricardo Calafiori. Back to Gabriel. He's about 40 yards from goal. It's a good ball out to the right-hand side to Nwaneri again. Once again, he's got his familiar foe, Dalot, in front of him. Here is Partey. Drops the ball back to Jurrien Timber. Timber back to Partey. Partey drops the ball down the right-hand side. And it's swung in by Odegaard to the back post. And waiting there was Leandro Trossard, but Nusa Mazraoui gets the header in ahead and puts the ball behind for a corner to Arsenal. As once again, Arsenal putting the pressure on. The corner is going to be taken on the left-hand side. Declan Rice goes short this time, gives it to Trossard, back to Odegaard! Oh, that was a good effort, and it just cleared the crossbar. And that's what I'm talking about. That's what I was talking about at the end of the first half. Get that shot on goal. And my goodness me, that really, Onana was stretching. He might have got a touch, he might not. It was just cleared the crossbar. It's deemed that he did get a touch on it. And Arsenal going to have another go now with a corner from the right-hand side. 51 minutes gone. It's Manchester United 1, Arsenal 0. Corner going to be taken by Odegaard. And it goes right to Declan Rice on the edge of the area. Rice with a volley, but it's over the crossbar. Oh, Declan Rice there with a chance. Came right to the edge of the area, completely foxed that Manchester United defence. Probably had a little bit more time than he realised, but he caught it on the volley. Unfortunately for Declan Rice, he just gets his foot underneath the ball and it goes over the crossbar. And it's going to be a goal kick for Manchester United. For Manchester United, it's cleared downfield. Trying to bring the ball down is Joshua Xerxes. He's not been able to. And here is Martin Odegaard. Odegaard, ball played forward to Timmer. Overlapping here is Ethan Nwaneri. Nwaneri holds the ball up. Oh, it's good play by Nwaneri. Gets the cross in, but the only one in there was Mikel Merina. Victor Lindelof just heads the ball behind for a corner. His first start in 12 months for Victor Lindelof. He really is having a really good game in this in the heart of that Manchester United defence. As Arsenal prepare for another corner. It's going to be swung in here by Martin Odegaard. Just going to try to curl this into the 6-yard box. He does. Right under the crossbar, the heads go up. It's cleared away by Joshua Zirkzee. As Andre Onana stayed home, he did not come for that ball. And it'll roll. Oh, he's kept in play by Zirkzee. Well done. Here goes Zirkzee again. Well, he's been pulled up, and it's going to be a free kick there. I'm surprised he did not allow that game to continue. I'm surprised the referee did not play an advantage there. We just look again at Bruno Fernandes's strike, and yeah, it was right away from the hand of David Raya. No chance for David Raya, and it was just one moment of brilliance from that free kick that is the difference between the two sides. Here come United now, though. There's cross coming into Mazraoui with a chance. Oh, what a super kick save! Oh, what a kick save and a beauty by David Raya. Oh, that should have been 2-0. That really should have been 2-0. And it was a super ball out to the right-hand side. The cross comes in. Oh, that was nobody tracking Mazraoui. And it took a superb save from the goalkeeper. Excuse me. It's a corner to Manchester United. But what a save that was. And it's going to be Christian Eriksen that's going to take the corner as Manchester United catch Arsenal cold there. Back again to Eriksen, tries to swing the ball in. It's a poor one. The clearance away, though, equally as poor. And it's just taken into his own half by Bruno Fernandes. Manchester United, well, they nearly took advantage there. That should have been 2-0. And coming forward now is Nusa Mazraoui for Manchester United. Played forward here. Alejandro Garnacho picks up the ball. Drop back to the halfway line to Matthijs de Ligt. To Victor Lindelof. And here is Eriksen. Eriksen plays the ball through, looking for Nusa Mazraoui again. But coming out to claim that ball on the edge of his own penalty area was David Raya. And he releases that ball now to Declan Rice. And Declan Rice is dispossessed by Garnacho. Garnacho goes down under the challenge. The referee says play on. Nipping in and winning that ball is Calafiori. Scrappy stuff there. Cleared out of play by Matthijs de Ligt. And it's going to be a throw-in for Arsenal. Manchester United 1, Arsenal 0. Calafiori taking the throw-in now for Arsenal. Midway inside the Manchester United half of the field. Across there to Gabriel, to the William Saliba. Down the right-hand side to Ethan Nwaneri. Nwaneri checks back and plays the ball to Thomas Partey. Partey holds the ball up and gives it to Martin Odegaard down the right-hand side. Can Odegaard get into the penalty area here? He pulls it back there to Nwaneri. Nwaneri gets the cross in, but nobody there. But it's headed away. It's poor from Mazraoui, picked up by Trossard, dropped to the edge of the area to Gabriel. And back to Saliba. Out wide now to Jurrien Timber. Timber. He's got Odegaard overlapping. Here is Odegaard. Odegaard checks back and drops it back to Saliba. It's back to Nwaneri inside the penalty area. Back to Odegaard again. Odegaard swings across into the back post. Oh, it's headed away there by Matthijs de Ligt, only as far as Thomas Partey. Here's Calafiori. Arsenal coming forward now. Trossard, back heel by Odegaard, but there was no reaction really from Declan Rice. And now David Raya is outside. He's in the Arsenal half of the field. And it's dropped back to Thomas Partey. Back to Declan Rice. Good ball out to the left-hand side to Trossard. Can Trossard swing the cross in? He does. It's dealt with well by Lindelof, who heads the ball out and headed down there by Garnacho and finally cleared away by Matthijs de Ligt. And Manchester United just trying to get the ball down here, cleared away by Mazraoui, only as far as Trossard. It's now with Saliba for Arsenal. Here's Timber, gives the ball to Ethan Nwaneri. Good challenge by Diogo Dalla, and he just shields the ball and watches it roll behind for a goal kick as that latest Arsenal attack fizzles out. And Manchester United, well, they have... that looks a very unpleasant challenge there. We're just looking at the replay there. It looks like Moreno just trampled on the ankle of Garnacho. Double substitution coming up for Arsenal. Coming on is Gabriel Martinelli and Miles Lewis-Skelly are coming on. And you have to say, you're not entirely surprised to see this. Nwaneri is coming off. I'm just not quite sure who the other one was. It is Calafiore. So Lewis-Skelly and Martinelli are on. Calafiore and Nwaneri are off as the first changes made by Arsenal. Here's Garnacho. Garnacho down the right-hand side. Can he get the cross in? Oh, he takes a deflection. Back heel by Xerxes. And just managing to smother the ball is David Raya, but only just. He just managed to smother that ball. But you can see the ball in from Garnacho. It's a very cute ball across. It takes a deflection by Partey. And the back heel by Xerxes, looking to beat Raya, but he managed to smother the ball, did David Raya, and Arsenal somehow are still at 1-0. It could have been so easily 2 for Manchester United there. You have to say that despite the lack of possession that Manchester United have compared to Arsenal, they are creating by far the better chances. And that appears to be the case so far. Here's Odegaard. Odegaard plays the ball across, looking for Gabriel Martinelli. Martinelli cuts inside, plays the ball across. It's cleared away by Matthijs de Ligt. Well, Moreno was waiting, but Matthijs de Ligt just gets across there and makes a challenge. And it's going to be another corner to Arsenal. And let's see if they can create anything out of this. There's 1 goal in it. We've hit the hour mark. Manchester United lead by a goal to 0. Goals from set pieces. 12 first 21 games, none from the last 6. It's swung into the 6-yard box. Onana comes for the fist. It's bouncing around there. Finally breaks loose to Gabriel. His shot is blocked. Declan Rice hands it to Odegaard. Odegaard, oh, there's a foul there in the middle. Looks like Bruno Fernandes has gone down, clutching his knee. And oh, is that, let's see, is that Mazraoui or Fernandes? I'm not quite sure who that is. We're going to take a look at that in a moment. We'll just take a look here. Oh, it's Mazraoui. Yeah, it was just a challenge from Gabriel. Oh, it was the studs right by the side of the knee. That was very unpleasant. By accident, I'm sure, but that was very, very unpleasant on Nusa Mazraoui. Fortunately for him and Manchester United, he's back on his feet. They can certainly ill afford any more injuries. Cleared downfield by Andre Onana. Flicked on well there by Casemiro. Chasing this one down is Joshua Xerxes. Oh, he just does first touch on for Joshua Xerxes. It's poor. And it just rolls behind for a goal kick. And the Manchester United fans won't give David Raya the ball back. So David Raya just grabs the spare one that's over there. Expected goals in the first half is 0.11 for Manchester United. That's how bad it was. They are now 0.98 in the second half, as we have seen, despite the limited possession, have created the better opportunities. Odegaard. Ball played forward. Oh, it's easily won back by Heaven. And it's won then by number 3, Nusa Mazraoui. Drops the ball back. Manchester United, well, they are looking a little bit stronger in the second half. The ball is played forward. It's chested down here by Leandro Trossard. Let's see what they can create now. That's a really good ball through to Gabriel Martinelli, across to Martin Odegaard. Odegaard drops the ball back to Nwanri, not to Nwanri, sorry, to Lewis Skelly. And that's a good challenge there, and picked up again, back out on the right-hand side, it's Timber. Back to Timber again. Timber just drops the ball back there to William Saliba. Arsenal coming forward again. It's Lewis Skelly. Plays the ball to Declan Rice. And the ball is forward to Jurrien Timber. He's got Odegaard overlapping on the right-hand side. Let's see what Odegaard, that's actually Gabriel Martinelli, who swings across in. It's headed out by Matthijs de Ligt. And here's Garnacho with Miles Lewis Skelly surrounding him. Oh, good work by Miles Lewis Skelly, or is it? It's a free kick to Manchester United for the foul by Miles Lewis Skelly. And it's picked up by Nusa Mazraoui. And Mikel Arteta just thinking now what's he going to do next. Really for Arsenal at the moment, the lack of chances that are being created. And the giveaways and the final pass just not being there. It's just not the best play by Arsenal at all in this game. It's cleared downfield and headed away by Gabriel and out of play. It's going to be a throw-in. Manchester United, well, if they can get a second goal, well, they'll be over the moon because at the moment, Arsenal looking void of ideas at the moment. Here is Nusa Mazraoui. Mazraoui, the throw-in down the right-hand side, level with the Arsenal penalty area. Throws it back here to Matthijs de Ligt. De Ligt, what has the referee given? He's stopped play and has given a free kick to Arsenal. I'm not sure exactly what for there, but free kick given to Arsenal, and Miles Lewis Skelly takes it quickly, sends it back to the goalkeeper David Raya, as Arsenal once again building from the back. And it's with William Saliba, gives the ball to Timber. Timber lifts the ball over the top, looking for Declan Rice. Can he break away Declan Rice? He's got the ball inside the penalty area, but he allows it to just go behind for a corner. And Manchester United will now have to defend another Arsenal corner. And let's see if Arsenal can produce something from this corner. Andre Onana just organising his defence. 8 Arsenal players are going to make their way inside that 6-yard box. It's a short one. And it's back from Gabrielli to Martinelli. Back to Trossard. Is Trossard going to have a shot? Trossard shoots, but that is an absolutely terrible effort. And pulls it wide. And Arsenal, well, that's the epitome of their afternoon so far. Just pulls that shot wide. And it's a goal kick. Next Sunday afternoon on the commentary hub, we have, I believe we've got the League Cup final. Is it next week, the League Cup final, Ross? Let me know, will you? I think it's next week. I want to say it's next week. But if it is, then we have that for you next week. Yes, it is next week, the League Cup final, Liverpool versus Newcastle. So we'll be bringing that for you on the commentary hub next Sunday. And Ross will be with us for that one. I'll be in the commentator's chair for that one. So the ball is out of play. It's going to be another throw-in for Arsenal. It's taken quickly. And it's across to Gabriel, who gives the ball to Miles Lewis Skelly. You've got 23 minutes left to play in this game. It's Manchester United 1, Arsenal 0. And Gabriel gives the ball to Leandro Trossard. Trossard goes long over on the far side. Looking to pick up that ball. And it's going to roll out of play, I think. As I'm just experiencing some technical issues. So that's fantastic. Technical issues. Okay, we're back. The ball did go out of play. It's a throw-in for Manchester United and taken quickly by Dalot. He tries to go long over the top, but it's just headed down and out of play again for another Manchester United throw. And media, radio, jingles and gaming settles, this is totally why Arsenal are not going to win the league this year. I would agree with that as well. Throw-in taken quickly. And here's Joshua Zirkzee. Zirkzee is dispossessed. So that's good play by Jurrien Timmer. Gives the ball to Miles Lewis-Skelly now for Arsenal. Cross to Declan Rice. Declan Rice back to Miles Lewis-Skelly. Declan Rice, corner of the penalty area, left-hand side. And Gabriel lays the ball off here to Miles Lewis-Skelly. He's got a bit of space in front of him. Lewis-Skelly, he goes down under the challenge. And it's going to be a free kick to Arsenal inside the D, just outside the penalty area. And this is a real opportunity for Arsenal. It was a late challenge by Matthijs de Ligt. There's no question that it's a free kick. And we're just going to see who is going to stand over this one. And the challenge there was a poor one. No further action taken by Anthony Taylor. And the free kick is Odegaard and Declan Rice are standing over this. Leandro Trossard lurking with intent as well. Chance for Arsenal really to try to get back into this game. Ericsson there. I'm not sure what Ericsson's doing there. Probably making sure that Arsenal don't try and steal a few more extra yards. But the referee just organising the wall. As usually, these slow build-ups. Producer Luke says, have I mentioned how much I dislike Bruno Fernandes? He gets on his nerves. A few times, Luke, a few times. Whatever you might think about him personally, you can't deny the man's talent. And it's a free kick here. And they're arguing about the position of the wall right now. Anthony Taylor just needs to get control of this, and he's the official. He lines up the wall, and Bruno Fernandes is pointing at the line down there, but looks like the free kick is going to be taken. And Bruno Fernandes is still arguing, but the free kick is going to be taken eventually when Bruno Fernandes is quite finished. Free kick is going to be taken here by Martin Odegaard. It's also Declan Rice there. Let's see, is it going to be Odegaard? It is Odegaard, and it's straight into the wall. And Diogo Dalot just clears the ball away. So for all that long build-up, Odegaard's free kick hits the wall, and Manchester United maintain their lead. It's very difficult from that close in to get it over the wall and down. I really think it would have been much better suited for somebody who could have maybe struck it round the wall. Leandro Trossard here now for Arsenal, just inside the Manchester United half of the field. Plays the ball across to Saliba as Arsenal continues to send numbers forward en masse. Here's Gabriel Martinelli. Martinelli makes his way towards the middle and drops it off to Gabriel. Gabriel midway inside the Manchester United half of the field. It's across to Miles Lewis-Skelly. Back to Gabriel. He drops the ball down this left-hand side, and here's Leandro Trossard. Just checks away from Nusa Mazraoui. He's fouled. And that'll be a free kick to Arsenal. More creative position here for Leandro Trossard. He wants to take the free kick quickly. Alejandro Garnacho is standing over it and will not let him. Will we see Raheem Sterling today? And the free kick is going to be taken. Who we will see is Tierney, who's about ready to come on. And this free kick is going to be swung in by Declan Rice as time running out for Arsenal here. Free kick to be taken by Declan Rice. He's going to swing this one in. Arsenal switching back and forth. It comes in. Oh, it's flicked on by Delot. Cleared away. Arsenal appealing for handball. There's several of the Arsenal players appealing for handball. We'll have a look at it again in a moment. Here's Miles Lewis-Skelly out to Gabriel. Gabriel, corner of the penalty area, right-hand side. Martinelli. Back to Timmer. And here's William Saliba. Holds the ball up. Saliba just checks back. And it's with Odegaard. Odegaard, he's just under pressure at the moment by Eriksen. And Eriksen's pressing Odegaard all the way back into his own half. Back to David Raya, who's way out of his goal again. And it's across there to the number 19, Leandro Trossard. And now here is Miles Lewis-Skelly for Arsenal. Ball played forward. Here's Odegaard. Can he swing the cross in? Oh, beautiful piece of defending by Aidan Heaven. And cleared away by Victor Lindelof. That was a superb piece of defending. Arsenal, though, looking for the equaliser. Here's David Raya again. Raya plays the ball to Declan Rice. Rice holds the ball up. Oh, that's a good ball across there to Martin Odegaard. Odegaard. And here's Jurrien Timmer. Timmer, is he going to be able to pull this back to Declan Rice? Rice with a shot! It's 1-1! And Arsenal are level! And that is a fantastic strike by Declan Rice. Silences the Old Trafford crowd. And that strikes Arsenal level. Well, there is 16 minutes left. And Declan Rice has put this game right in the balance now. Excuse me, I apologise, I've got a cough going on here. It was beautifully laid off by Jurrien Timmer. Just laid off nicely to Declan Rice, in off the post. And this is what happens when you play more direct. It was a perfect strike by Declan Rice. Andre Onana, no chance. Arsenal level. And, well, let's see if they can go on and get the victory. But the next 16 minutes are going to be interesting here to see which team takes ascendancy in this game. And there's a substitute, but players just stopped for some reason. Are they taking a drinks break? Well, the players are taking a drinks break, but players stopped. There's a substitution going on down there. I think it's for Arsenal because I think they are looking at bringing on Kieran Tierney. And substitution on 76 minutes. I'm not sure who Tierney is coming on for, but it does look like he's coming on. And that was the appeal for the handball. So let's take a look at this. Yes, that was a clear handball. That was a clear handball, so you have to assume if that wasn't given, if Arsenal didn't score, then surely there would have been a penalty. Eriksen goes off, and coming on is Toby Collier in his stead. Rasmus Højlund is also on. So Højlund is on. I assume that's the substitute. Yes, Xerxes and Eriksen are off, and Højlund and Collier are on. Tierney is also on for Thomas Partey. So we're just going to update that information for you now, because I've got to update my substitutes. Thomas Partey, decent performance by him today. He'll be quite happy with that. Joshua Xerxes probably be also very happy with his performance. And Eriksen in the midfield as well. No appearance yet for Raheem Sterling, so we'll wait and see whether that is going to happen today. I'm not convinced. I don't see that why Arsenal would want to bring him on at this stage, to be honest, given the firepower that they've got up front at the moment. Just experiencing a few more technical issues. Just give me a few moments here. plays back underway now. Here we go. Manchester United have the ball, and you've not missed anything. The referee says play on for the challenge there. And here's Aidan Heron. Plays the ball across there to Bruno Fernandes, lifts the ball over the top, looking for Rasmus Højlund. Højlund just tries to bring the ball under control, releases the ball there to Bruno Fernandes. Fernandes across to Diogo Dalot. Dalot, picked up on the edge of the area by Fernandes, does a quick 1-2 with Fernandes again with a shot, and it's blocked, and it just goes out of play, into the goalkeeper's arms, and play continues. So for Manchester United, having given up that lead, it'll be interesting to see how they react as this game goes on with 12 minutes to go. It's picked up on the centre line here by Tierney, gives the ball to Miles Lewis-Skelly. Lewis-Skelly drops the ball to the number 6 there, Gabriel. Good ball out on the far side to Jurrien Timber. Back to Declan Rice. Picked up by Odegaard as Arsenal pressing forward into the penalty area here. It's Morena. Morena just trying to hold up possession. Can he get the cross in? He does, Morena, and it's headed out by Casemiro. And finally, Aidan Heron is going to put his foot through it and clear that ball away. And right now, it is still 1-1. And, well, it's anybody's game here at Old Trafford now. And here's Tierney again. It's a long ball forward. Looking for, picked up here by Mikel Morena. Back to the number 6, Gabriel. Gabriel releases it to Declan Rice. Back to the goalkeeper, David Raya, who's way out of his goal. Raya just holds the ball up and feeds it across there to William Saliba. Held up by Gabriel as Manchester United pushing to try to get a winner here. They will be given having the lead. I think Arsenal may well be considering it a couple of points dropped as well. It's going to be interesting these last 10 minutes. Here is Tierney. Tierney drops the ball back to Gabriel. Across there to... Just trying to see who that is over on the far side there. Picked up by Declan Rice, yes, and across to Martin Odegaard. Odegaard cuts inside. Back to Saliba, back to Odegaard. Odegaard holds the ball up. It's a good play by Martin Odegaard, gives the ball to Timber. The ball is played through there by Declan Rice, and it just rolls through to Andre Onana. Disappointing end to that attacking flair by Arsenal. It fizzles out again. Aidan Heron just drops the ball back to the goalkeeper one more time. Onana puts his foot through it this time. And, that's a nice challenge there by William Saliba. Nothing wrong with that. The ball's played forward to Odegaard. If he can just bring this ball under control, the shot comes in. It's a fine save by Andre Onana at his near post. It's actually Gabriel gets that shot away. And Onana, just look at this again. It was a really super ball by Morena. He's onside, no question. And the shot struck at the near post, but it was a good save by Onana. You don't expect him to get beaten at his near post like that, but it was a good reaction save. And it's going to be a corner for Arsenal as we take into the last 8 minutes of this game. And I am going to consider my player of the match for this one. Corner to come in here. It's going to be taken short, I think, by Odegaard. He does go short. And it's back to Gabriel Martinelli. Miles Lewis-Skelly just getting on his feet, and looks like what went on there. Oh yes, Rasmus Højlund had his arms all over Miles Lewis-Skelly. So the corner is going to be taken again. And it's going to be swung in by Martin Odegaard. Is he going to go long this time? Yes, he does, into the box. Under pressure goes Miles Lewis-Skelly. He goes down under Rasmus Højlund's challenge again. But Manchester United break away. And here's Alejandro Garnacho. Back heels it to Bruno Fernandes. Won there by Collier. Good play. And it's a free kick to Manchester United as Bruno Fernandes goes down and complains again. No, I don't think... Miles Lewis-Skelly, just looking at this replay, Miles Lewis-Skelly looking for the penalty there. No question that would ever be a penalty. Miles Lewis-Skelly goes down way too easily. It's a free kick for Manchester United, just inside their own half of the field. It's going to be taken by Bruno Fernandes. It's launched forward. Another Manchester United player goes down. This time it's Casemiro. Anthony Taylor says play on, as Bruno Fernandes launches it long towards Matthijs de Ligt. He heads the ball on, but it's behind for a goal kick. Casemiro going down very, very easily there. You can see when this cross comes in, the ball was long. He just goes down. Like, I mean, there's no... Yes, and Anthony Taylor just says no. And I honestly think perhaps the yellow card ought to be coming out in these situations. There was nothing wrong with that challenge at all. There was virtually no challenge, and down goes Casemiro. The ball is across here to Gabriel. Gabriel played forward to Moreno. Oh, Moreno's giving it away to Højlund. Oh, what a fine challenge by Declan Rice. Oh, that is a match-saving challenge right there, as the ball was given away dreadfully by Mikel Moreno and almost led in Rasmus Højlund. And now it's Arsenal on the break with Kieran Tierney. Tierney plays the ball across to Leandro Trossard, who just pulls his shot wide. Oh, the chance was on, and it started from that fantastic challenge from Declan Rice. That was where it all began, and well, it was certainly a very good challenge by Rice. That was a goal-scoring opportunity for sure for Rasmus Højlund, and he gets away with that one, does Mikel Moreno. And the cross by Tierney, oh, it was in the end, it was a golden opportunity really for a player like Leandro Trossard, but he just pulls his shot wide. Arsenal coming forward again, and chasing this one is Gabriel Martinelli along with Aidan Heaven. Aidan Heaven doing very, very well there, and Gabriel Martinelli trips him up, and it's going to be a free kick. Just going to hand over my player of the match to the producers. And I will be announcing that in about 4 or 5 minutes' time. The ball is cleared downfield, and it goes all the way through to David Raya. And David Raya just holds the ball there. Just taking his time now, David Raya. Is he just going to go short here? Needs to be careful. He's been caught out in those positions before. The ball was played forward. Odegaard just drops the ball back into the Manchester United half, but they're going to lose it to Nusa Mazraoui. Mazraoui is about 20 yards out. That's a good ball here to Casemiro. Overlapping is Toby Collier into the middle. And once again, another fine challenge, stopping Rasmus Højlund as the frustrated Dane just smashes his fists on the floor. But this really was another superb challenge. This time, just trying to see who that is. Yes, it's Gabriel this time. Just gets his foot across. And looks like he got the final touch on that. Rasmus Højlund, frustrated figure right now. The corner coming in just from the right-hand side. It's Bruno Fernandes to take it. And it's swung in. David Raya just plucks it out of the air. Comfortable save for David Raya, who releases it quickly, and Leandro Trossard on his way. Oh, it's a disappointing ball by Trossard. And Garnacho plays the ball across to Casemiro. Casemiro launches the ball forward. It's flicked on. Aidan Heaven tries to bring the ball under control. and he loses possession there. And in fact, it's been given as a free kick to Arsenal, and it's taken quickly. Mikel Morena plays the ball forward here now. He's got options left and right. He gives it to Miles Lewis Skelly. He's got Tierney down the left. He drops it back to Gabriel. Gabriel back to Declan Rice. Declan Rice across there now to Jurrien Timber. Timber to Gabriel Martinelli. Gabriel Martinelli holds the ball up, and the official's flag comes up on the far side with Odegaard standing in an offside position. Very, very poor there from the Arsenal captain. He was well offside. And it's going to be a free kick to Manchester United as this game ticks down into the last 2 minutes. Media radio jingles and games as well. Good goal from Rice. Let's see if we can get any more before the full-time whistle. Well, it's certainly not looking like it at the moment. Certainly Manchester United have come closer. The ball is forward, looking for Nusa Mazraoui. The header away there was only as far as Garnacho. Garnacho now skipping inside, beating two. Still Garnacho. Oh, this is super play. He drops the ball back there to Bruno Fernandes. Fernandes is dispossessed so now. And Arsenal are on the break. And it's Gabriel Martinelli, but what a fine challenge by Aidan Heaven. And, well, it goes out of play for a throw-in. And at the next stoppage and play, I will be giving my man of the match for this game. Bruno Fernandes now down, holding his knee. Anthony Taylor telling him to either get up or go off. Fernandes, well, media, radio, jingles and gaming says Manchester United have obviously been at the better side by miles. I wouldn't say miles, but has definitely been the better side in my opinion. Arsenal lacking the creativity today that they had on Tuesday night against PSV. Here is Odegaard. Odegaard holds up the ball. He's got Gabriel Martinelli up there, but Odegaard just going towards the corner flag. He goes down under the challenge there of Toby Collier. The referee says no free kick and to play on. And it drops back there, lifted over the top to Lindelof. Lindelof now has got a bit of space and time. Manchester United 4 on 5 if they hurry. Here's Garnacho. Garnacho cuts inside. Tries to get a shot away, Garnacho, and it's just over the crossbar as he comes very close. So I'm going to give my player of the match now, well, my man of the match, and I'm giving that to Manchester United's captain, Bruno Fernandes, not for the constant whining, but for his control in midfield today, and his passing has been absolutely first class from start to finish, not to mention that magnificent free kick. So today's man of the match, sponsored by Commentary Services, goes to Manchester United's number 8, Bruno Fernandes. The ball is cleared downfield. Heads go up in the air there. It's Aidan Heaven who wins a header. And out of play for a throw-in. It's Declan Rice now with the throw-in. And drops it back to Saliba. Saliba just holds the ball up and gives the ball to Mikel Morena. As Arsenal, well, they're running out of time. The ball is long there by Declan Rice looking for Kieran Tierney. It's headed one by Nusa Mazraoui. Cleared away by man of the match Bruno Fernandes. And David Raya just lifts the ball over Toby Collier's head. And the ball just going out of play there. Media, radio, jingles and gaming says Bruno Fernandes has played well for Manchester United. Garnacho also having a lot of chances. Well, he was definitely in my mind was Garnacho, but I think in the end I just chose to give it to Bruno Fernandes. As we take a look at Arsenal coming forward now, it's played across there to Odegaard, a shot, and it's a real chance here. Oh, that should have been 2-1. Odegaard with a shot, and Gabriel Martinelli blazed it over the crossbar. Well, that was an opportunity for Manchester United, and you have to say, for Arsenal, and you have to say That's on Gabriel Martinelli for missing that. That should have been 2-1. And now the cross coming in from the left-hand side by Diogo Dalot. And that goes over and out of play. And that was Arsenal's chance. That was Arsenal's chance. That was the best chance of the entire game. And it was ballooned over the crossbar. But not that Arsenal deserve to win today. They don't. And they don't deserve a point from this game either. But it looks like that's what they might get. Here is Rasmus Højlund to Garnacho. Garnacho down the right-hand side. Pulls the ball back. Just getting in front there is Mazraoui. The ball is spread across. It's Fernandes! Oh, it's just stayed out! Somehow it was just kept out! And that was Arsenal's chance to win the game! That was rather Manchester United's chance to win the game. Bruno Fernandes, what a chance! That would have won the game for Manchester United. Both sides with chances at the end of this game, but we are still at 1-1. Well, it goes back to the goalkeeper, but again, the chances there for both sides. Well, Gabriel Martinelli at one end, Bruno Fernandes at the other. But we are still 1-1 as we tick down now the last few minutes of this game, or the last few seconds really of this game. Media radio jingles and games said if that would have gone in, they would have deserved it. I agree with you. The ball lifted forward by Gabriel, headed away. We've played the 4 minutes. I'm sure Anthony Taylor is going to blow his whistle soon, but it's a free kick to Arsenal, which Miles Lewis-Skelly will take. As we take a look at that chance, Bruno Fernandes was a great save by David Raya, it has to be said. Let's give him his credit. And somehow he kept that out from going in, because that was top spinning into the net. But somehow it stayed out. The free kick is from Declan Rice now. Can Arsenal steal it at the death? It is 1-1. Taken short by Declan Rice to Martinelli. Martinelli trying to get to the byline. It's towards the back post, headed on. And it's bouncing around there. And finally, can Lisandro Martinez get a shot away? It's blocked. And that's full time. It finishes 1-1. But what an exciting finale with the chances for Gabriel Martinelli and the chance for Bruno Fernandes at the end of the game. It finishes 1-1. And Arsenal have dropped more points. Manchester United will take that point given the understrength side that they have. It will give them heart going into the Europa League second leg against Real Sociedad on Thursday. So the goals came at the end of the first half by Bruno Fernandes and on the 74th minute from Declan Rice. It finishes at Old Trafford. Manchester United 1, Arsenal 1. Back to you, Ross.
Thank you very much there, Paul James. Excellent coverage on the Manchester United versus Arsenal game, in the big game in the Premier League this afternoon. And what a game we brought to you this afternoon. A 1-1 draw in the end between the two, shall we say, arch nemesis, as both these sides do battle once again in the Premier League. We'll bring you some results right now from both sides, from all the games that's played this weekend in the Premier League, a little bit later on. But first of all, let's start off with the rest of today's games that's taken place today. In the Scottish Cup quarter-final, finished Celtic 2, Hibernian 0 in the Championship. Portsmouth 1, Leeds United 0. FA Women's Cup quarter-final, Man City 2, Aston Villa 0. Arsenal 0, Liverpool 1. Chelsea 1, Crystal Palace 0. Man City played Manchester United in the FA Women's semi-finals, with Chelsea taking on Liverpool in the Women's FA Cup semi-finals. In the English Women's Championship, Charlton Athletic 3, Blackburn Rovers 1. In the Spanish La Liga, Getafe 2, Atletico Madrid 1. Real Madrid 2, Rayo Vallecano 1. Athletic Club 0, Mallorca 0 is at half-time, as is Betis against UD Las Palmas. Also at half-time there, Real Sociedad against Sevilla, 8 o'clock kick-off in the UK. Frankfurt 1, Union Berlin 2 in the German Bundesliga. Hoffenheim 1, Heidenheim 1 as well in the Bundesliga in Germany. In the Italian Serie A, Verona 1, Bologna 2, Napoli 2, Fiorentina 1. Still 1-0 to Roma on 71 minutes away at Empoli. Empoli 0, Roma 1 in Serie A. Juventus against Atalanta is a 7:45. Australian A-League, Luxor 1, Auckland 1 in the Australian A-League there. In the Dutch Eredivisie, some results, select results for you there. Zwolle 0, Ajax 1, FC Twente 1, Almere 0. In the French League 1, Brest 2, Angers 0, Le Havre 1, Saint Etienne 1, Nantes 0, Strasbourg 1, Reims 0, Auxerre 2. Nice against Lyon is a 7:45 in the French League 1. There, in the MLS, Major League Soccer, which has taken place this overnight matches this far, and then a couple of games taking place later today. Yesterday, even the results from yesterday was Saturday, 8th of March, Columbus 0, Houston Dynamos 0, Seattle Sounders 5, LAFC 2 in that one. Also, in the MLS, Atlanta United 0, New York Red Bulls 0, FC Cincinnati 2, Toronto FC 0, DC United 2, Sporting Kansas City 1, New England Revolution 0, Philadelphia Union 2, New York City 2, Orlando City 1, Austin 0, Colorado Rapids 1, FC Dallas 1, Chicago Fire 3, Nashville 2, Portland Timbers 0, Real Salt Lake 1, San Diego 3, Vancouver Whitecaps 2, CF Montreal 0, San Jose Earthquakes 0, Minnesota United 1. Evening kickoff at 8 o'clock sees Inter Miami take on Charlotte, and at 11 o'clock UK time, LA Galaxy take on St. Louis City in the MLS. Well, then before we get our thoughts, before we bring you the thoughts on and bring you the Premier League results from the weekend in just a moment, let's see what some of the comments coming in here is saying today. Midi Radio Jingles and Gaming, an Arsenal fan says, what a terrible performance from Arsenal. As an Arsenal fan myself, I thought Manchester United would have deserved to win this afternoon, should have deserved to win this afternoon, he says. Then I would, based on the balance of play and what I've seen, I would have to tend to agree with you there, my friend. I would have to agree with you there this afternoon in the end. Let's see if somebody else agrees with you this afternoon, and let's bring in Paul James, who's been doing the excellent commentary on this game this afternoon. Paul, would you have to agree with that Manchester United, you said Manchester United deserved to win that game today?
Yeah, they deserve to win. In my opinion, Arsenal created very little for most of the game. They had a lot of possession but did nothing with it. And I think in the second half, Manchester United started to create the better chances. A couple for Rasmus Højlund that if it wasn't for some fantastic defending, we'd have been looking at a different result today. So I think in hindsight, when I look back at it, I would say, Manchester United definitely deserved the victory.
Yes, where do Arsenal go from here then, Paul? Obviously, a 7-1 win in midweek, followed up by a lacklustre 1-1 draw against Manchester United. Injury hit Manchester United, shall we say. Where do you Arsenal go from here next, Paul, if I were to ask you that question? Where would you say Arsenal need to go from here?
No, it's Chelsea next in the league. That's next, and that's what they've got to look at. They can't. This is the squad they've got until the end of the season. They can do nothing. This is it now. This is what they've got. They've got PSV at home on Wednesday, and then Chelsea on Sunday. And they have to work with what they've got. But they've got to change this style of play. This style of play is terrible. You know, they can't keep playing like Manchester City. They're not Manchester City. And they keep trying to create these chances and creating these perfect goals. but it's not happening for them. And we've seen it against Nottingham Forest, and we've seen it against West Ham, and numerous times this season. That is not working. This is not the way Arsenal really played last season either. I mean, I know they're missing Bukayo Saka. I get that. They're missing Bukayo Saka. They're missing Kai Havertz, whatever sort of a loss that is. But the bottom line is the creativity is just not there. I mean, they can turn around and say Mikel Moreno does nothing as a striker, which is okay, may well be true, but there's no service to the man. The ball into the box isn't there. And then when Leandro Trossard, I don't know why Leandro Trossard is an Arsenal player. There, I said it. I don't know why he's an Arsenal player. I don't. His chances in front of goal, he skews shots, his passing has been dreadful. I do not know why this man is playing for Arsenal.
Yes, and when you look at how bad Man United's injuries are, most of their bench today, bar Oyland and Toby Collier, and maybe Obi and Evan, who's featured recently in the Premier League. Everybody else is a under 18s, under 21 player in that squad. You would expect, say, Manchester United to get, well, Arsenal should be beating aside without so many injuries, and they're not doing that. And Arsenal have been. It's not just today. Arsenal have been playing like this in the league. All this been the past couple of weeks as well. And why do you feel like Arsenal have dropped off in the league? Is it because of missing certain personnel, or is it because of Mikel Arteta's been found out with the way he likes his sides to play?
Probably a bit of both. A bit of both, I would argue. Yes, they've been found out with the way that they're playing. They've absolutely been found out in terms of defensively. All teams have to do, and whenever Manchester United did it today, it worked. All they have to do is press that Arsenal defence. And all teams have to do to shut Arsenal down is defend very deep inside their own half. That's all they have to do. That's it. There's no creativity to break down these teams.
Yeah, absolutely, Paul, absolutely.
The low block, problem solved.
Yeah, at times, as you know, I'm a Leeds fan. Leeds have suffered with at times against a low block. Arsenal now seem to be having that issue there now as well, and Leeds changed a bit, found a way at times to beat low blocks, but Arsenal, I know I mentioned Leeds have had the same issues with low blocks, Paul, and I know it's a different division compared to Arsenal and different calibre of players that Leeds are coming up against compared to Arsenal with these low block sides, but Arsenal should have got enough players there, you would say potentially, to beat teams that sit in a low block, and they're not doing that at the moment.
They haven't replaced the players that are injured. No loan signings in the transfer market. Not one. Teams like Aston Villa went out and bought loan signings. But Mikel Arteta's like, no. We don't need any loan signings. No. And look where we are. Right? There's no title race now. Let's stop calling this a title race. It's not a title race. It's done.
Yeah, Arsenal now 15 points behind Liverpool, especially after Liverpool won yesterday, Paul. You're saying the title race is done now. For me, Paul, it's been done, 5, maybe even 10 games ago the title race was over, in my opinion.
Well, so I was talking about it being done in January. It's been done for a long time. As soon as that transfer window closed, the title race was done. It was finished at that point. There was no way Arsenal was going to be able to compete. You might as well have handled the Premier League title to Liverpool on February the 4th.
Yeah, and Paul, the way Arsenal have been playing since I'll just go through back to it, since potentially Boxing Day to now, might as well have given Liverpool the title back on Boxing Day, because Liverpool had a gap on Arsenal then, and Arsenal have just got gradually worse since Boxing Day. Liverpool have improved, and yeah, you say Arsenal haven't strengthened any, didn't go any signings. Liverpool didn't fetch any signings in. They've gone from strength to strength with the calibre of players they've got, and they've not got many injuries.
Please.
I know there's injuries for Arsenal to take
You
into
cannot make the
consideration.
same comparison here, my friend. You just can't. When you have a squad riddled by injuries, already going into transfer window time, you know that you're missing your best player, Bukayo Saka, and you say, oh, we don't need any players. We don't need to sign any loan players. How is that acceptable? How is that acceptable? Please explain that to me. If Liverpool would have had Salah out, Darwin Núñez out, Luis Diaz out, Joboslai out, would they not have gone out and signed loan players?
I'm not sure, because they've got for me, Paul, and this is my opinion, Liverpool have got quality in depth to replace those kind of players, whereas Arsenal haven't got that, and that's, for me, that's why I say if Arsenal, Liverpool had those sort of injuries you mentioned there, Paul, they wouldn't need to go and get replacements, because their squad is stacked with the replacements already there. So for what I'm saying though is, Paul, Liverpool didn't make any signings, neither did Arsenal. Arsenal's had injuries. Had there not been injuries, I don't know for definite, Paul, I can't speculate here, but if say had there not been as many injuries Arsenal had, maybe Arsenal may still be in the title race, maybe they may not have been, maybe it's the injuries that's put Arsenal out of the title race, which is why I'm saying, going back to, said before Boxing Day, that's when the title race, for me, really ended, in my opinion.
I wouldn't say that. We had the chance with the transfer window in January, and we didn't do anything with it. We did nothing with that transfer window, Ross, and that's what drives me up the wall. And I'm sorry I'm angry right now, but I am really fed up of Mikel Arteta at this time. There, I said that as well.
Paul, if I were to just ask you one final question here.
Yeah.
If you was in the Arsenal boardroom tonight, would you sack Mikel Arteta after that performance?
You really want me to answer that question? You want me to answer that question?
Yes. Would you sack Arteta tonight?
If
so, who would you look to get in to replace him between now and the summer?
Well, that's always a tricky one, but and I could quote some names, and some might agree with me, some might disagree with me. So I'm not going to quote any names. But if I was in the director's room right now, I would be resigning. But my last act before my own resignation would be to fire Mikel Arteta.
Thank you.
They all need to go. The owners and the manager, the pair of them.
Thank you very much there, Paul. Passionate Arsenal fan as ever is our Paul, and we do like to see the passion come out on air to show us, because that really shows how much Paul really cares about one of his clubs that he follows very, very close to there. Before we go through the rest of the results, and before we fetch in our friend of the channel here, Paul, I just want to talk to you briefly or touch upon the Nottingham Forest game against Manchester City yesterday. Nottingham Forest 1-0 winners. Callum Hudson-Odoi with the only goal of the game in that match yesterday for Nottingham Forest. In my opinion, deserved winners for Nottingham Forest yesterday against Man City. Brilliant goal from Callum Hudson-Odoi as well. What did you make to Man City's performance yesterday? In say, because it looks as though like Pep Guardiola, if City continue playing like this, may not end up qualifying for the Champions League, which he's done in previous seasons.
I think they will end up qualifying, because I think the top 5 is probably going to qualify for the Champions League this year in England. But I have to say, Nottingham Forest has been a delight all season long. They've been the surprise package in the Premier League, that they've played some really good football. I've covered them a few times this season, both on the commentary hub as well. To be honest with you, I think they've done very well. Yes, I didn't see the first half, so I can't comment. The second half I did see, but I went down to take my medication. By the time I'd taken my medication and come back up, I missed the goal. But from what I did see of the second half, Forest looked very good. They've got a big victory there over Manchester City. I actually think the Champions League position is Forest to lose now.
Yes, and I know this may be hard for me to ask you with you being an Arsenal fan, but right now, do you feel like Nottingham Forest could finish above Arsenal in the Premier League table and potentially finish second behind Liverpool?
I think anything's possible at the moment, the way things are going. Anything's possible. I don't want to say yes and I don't want to say no, because I absolutely think anything's possible. If Arsenal keep playing like that, they're not going to finish runners up. They'll finish third. I'll say it like that.
Thank you very much there, Paul. And now let's fetch in friend of the channel and being our producer today, Luke Turton is here. He's a Nottingham Forest fan. And Luke, you was at the City ground yesterday, from what I understand, watching Nottingham Forest take on Manchester City. Just talk to us about what the atmosphere was like in the stadium and also your thoughts on the Forest win yesterday against the last season's Premier League champions.
Yeah, well, good evening, Russ. The atmosphere for a starter cranked up as the game went on. So the second half, it was getting louder and louder. Man City couldn't really cope with it. I think the problem with Man City is they don't want to pass it to death. And Paul mentioned in commentary about Arsenal not being Manchester City. You don't want to be Manchester City because they keep passing it around that much. They try to walk it in. And to be honest with you, the chances they were having, just going over the bar every single time. And we just suffocated them in the first half, went in 0-0. Second half came out, created a bit more. Hudson-Odoi had one tipped onto the post by Edison. Everybody in Lower Bridgeford thought that had gone in. And then when he did actually score, everyone went mental.
Yes, fantastic goal and well taken goal from Callum Hudson-Odoi yesterday, Luke. But just talk to me about that brilliant pass which set up the goal from Morgan Gibbs-White to pick him out. Fantastic ball from Gibbs-White. How good are those two together in this Nottingham Forest side that you've seen so far this season?
Well, yeah, Gibbs-White, if you bring him further back a little bit and then let him run forward and play the balls, he's absolutely deadly. I mean, him and Hudson-Odoi together are on the same wavelength. Gibbs-White's always looking to play the ball either to Hudson-Odoi or Elanga. What was interesting in the whole game yesterday was we switched Hudson-Odoi back over to his preferred side to the left. Then we had Elanga through the middle and Dominguez on the right to counteract Doku, which meant that Doku then went onto the other side in the second half. And then we took off Elanga, put on Sangare, and then Hudson was on the right-hand side again when he actually scored, which is where he's been playing the past couple of games. So really, it's an unknown position for Hudson-Odoi in a Forest shirt to be on the right-hand side, to be fair.
Yes, and you've got to say he took his goal well, Luke, but you've got to say Edison, a goalkeeper of his stature, should never be beaten at his near post. If that was down at the other end, and say if it was, say, Haaland scoring past Sells at his near post like that, you would say some not Forest fans would be having a go at him being beaten at his near post. Yes, no, the powerful effort on the shot from Hudson-Odoi, taking nothing away from the effort. When you look at it again, do you think Edison's going to do a bit better rather than get beat at his near post?
Yeah, no keeper should really be beaten at the near post like that. I mean, great strike, but I mean, you've got to get a stronger hand onto that. And yeah, I'd be going mad if it was at the other end. Like, just get your hand to it, both hands down low. But I mean, everything's done at such a quick pace with Forest that, to be honest, he probably didn't even get himself set, which I know is a little bit kind of embarrassing for a goalkeeper of his level. But again, I think as a team, Forest are definitely growing and becoming a lot more potent going forward.
Yes, absolutely. Look, and just one final thing. You've seen Arsenal drop points again today. You're currently sitting in third in the Premier League table. We'll bring you the full classified check on the Premier League results thus far over the weekend, and then we'll bring you the table as well. But Luke, Arsenal have drawn today. Forest won yesterday against Man City. Do you feel you could catch Arsenal potentially finishing second spot where Arsenal are playing and the way Forest are playing as well?
Every chance. I mean, I look at how we're playing and how Arsenal are playing, and I think going forward we've got a lot more of an edge to us. We've got a finisher in Chris Wood. He's not scored in the past few games, but other players are popping up with goals now as well. And I look at Arsenal, they've not really got that much going forward. They want to walk the ball into the net like Manchester City, but to a more in-depth level of passing it round and then going backwards, where Man City was going side to side, and then trying to put something into the box. But again, I think if we don't finish in second, then it's been an amazing season as it is. But it'll also come down to those games against Bournemouth and Fulham, where this year we've just lost points from stupid decisions and totally inept defending.
Yes, and also you missed out a game in there, which was the Newcastle game where you narrowly lost in the end after taking the early lead as well, Luke. That's another game where you could potentially point down to finishing second in the table, as well as the Bournemouth and Fulham results you've mentioned.
Yeah, but my comeback to that one is the Newcastle game. We switched off for 15 minutes, but again, they are a very, very good side. I know Bournemouth are a good side this year, but again, really, we haven't beaten Bournemouth since we've come up. There's that sort of side that's really irritating for Forest fans. Fulham, again, we did two strange things. We tried to set up a 4-4-2 with no wingers, which was a bit bizarre in the home game. And in the away game, we tried to set up like we're playing Brighton. We didn't wake up to the fact that Fulham are no Brighton. So, in that sense, it's easier to point to a 5-0 defeat to Bournemouth, a 1-1 draw at the start of the season against Bournemouth, and then 2 defeats to Fulham, more than I'd look at a very, very good Newcastle side. You're going to lose games of football, but Fulham and Bournemouth, we really should not have been not getting at least 3 points out of those games.
Yes, absolutely, Luke. Thank you very much for your input today as well. Great to have Luke giving his insights on Nottingham Forest there. So let's run you through the Premier League results from the weekend thus far, starting off with yesterday, Saturday the 8th of March 2025. Brentford 0, Aston Villa 1. Brighton of Albion 2, Fulham 1. Crystal Palace 1, Ipswich Town 0. Liverpool 3, Southampton 1. Nottingham Forest 1, Manchester City 0. Wolverhampton Wanderers 1, Everton 1. Sunday, the 9th of March 2025. Chelsea 1, Leicester City 0. The game you heard, Manchester United 1, Arsenal 1. Tottenham Hotspur 2, Bournemouth 2. And your Monday Night Football to complete this weekend's games is West Ham United versus Newcastle United at 8 p.m. tomorrow night. Let's take a look now at what those results mean for the Premier League table then. Starting off in the bottom half of the Premier League table, and Southampton remain bottom on 9 points. Leicester remain in the bottom 3 on 17 points. Ipswich remain in 18th on 17 points. Those 3 teams all lost this weekend. Wolves will go a point this weekend, are now on 23 points, sitting in 17th place. West Ham on 33 points in 16th place. Everton are on 33 points in 15th place. Manchester United are up to 14th with that point. Today they're now on 34 points. Tottenham are in 13th on 34 points. Brentford are in 12th with a defeat to Villa yesterday. They're on 38 points. Crystal Palace, after their 1-0 win over Ipswich, are up on to 39 points and they remain in 11th place in the table. Let's take a look at the top half of the table now then, and tell you what it's like at the top half of the table. Fulham are in 10th on 42 points after their defeat this weekend. They lost 2-1. Newcastle are in 9th of their game against West Ham tomorrow. They're on 44 points. Bournemouth are also on 44 points and are in 8th position. Aston Villa are in 7th on 45 points after their 1-0 win yesterday. Brighton, after their 2-1 win, are now in 6th on 46 points. Man City, after their defeat to Nottingham Forest yesterday, they remain in 5th on 47 points. Chelsea are 4th on 49 points. Forest are in 3rd on 51 points, just 4 points behind second place Arsenal, who are on 55 points in second spot, and Liverpool are just 15 points clear of the Gunners at the top of the Premier League table on 70 points. So a big thank you to those who have listened today and contributed to the show, Luke and Paul. Great commentary from Paul, brilliant contribution from Luke there as well. One final comment in here before we do finish today. Well, the performance from Media Radio Jingles and Gaming this is from, it says, well, the performance from Arsenal wasn't excellent, but to know something that was really excellent this afternoon, that of course was your brilliant coverage and commentary of the match, guys. Thank you very much. And he also goes on to say, despite Arsenal's lack of performance today, your commentary has been superb this afternoon, Paul, and he's also said about presenting has been brilliant as well. Thank you very much, my friend. Their Media Radio Jingles and Gaming. Your support as ever is brilliant to have here on the channel. Next weekend we'll definitely have the Carabao Cup final between Liverpool and Newcastle. That kicks off at 4:30 next Sunday afternoon, and that game is live with us here on the Commentary Hub. And next week as well we'll potentially have the Super Sunday Premier League clash. Hopefully we'll have the Premier League clash between Arsenal and Chelsea at 1:30 next Sunday as well. Make sure you stay tuned to our socials to find out if that game is coming up. We'll also put it in our community page here on our YouTube channel, over on the main Commentary Hub channel. If you want to head over to there and give us a subscribe, and also give us a listen to our interview which we did with former Rotherham United, Southend United defender Graham Coughlin, and also the current Boston United manager, which was done last week. Make sure you give that a listen as well. You can listen to that on our page over on the Commentary Hub as well. So if you're listening on Storm FM or focus on football, head over to the Commentary Hub to hear our exclusive interview with the Commentary Hub with Graham Coughlin. He speaks to myself, Russ Vernon, alongside my friend Tom Wood, who was the guest on that interview here on the Commentary Hub. Make sure to give it a like as well, and let us know your thoughts on some of the questions and answers we asked Graham over the last week. So thank you very much for listening to our coverage this afternoon. From myself, Russ Vernon, Paul James, Luke Turton, Mike Ornament, Nicholas Jones, and everybody here at the Commentary Hub, thank you very much for listening. We'll see you again soon. Take care, and it's a goodbye for now.